Dragon Ball getting stronger from signing in Chapter 161-180. Chapter 161 God, the Last Struggle. Boom, boom, boom. Violent explosions continued to sound, but Chumo kept blasting out terrifying energy bombs, smashing the energy just now. The aggregated Zamasu kept blasting into slag. And with each bombardment, Zamasu's energy continued to decline, making bursts of miserable screams. If there is a chance, I am afraid that Zamasu will beg Chumo for mercy on the spot. But unfortunately, there is no chance. Chumo finally condensed a destructive energy bomb and shouted, "Destruction." The speed of the destruction energy was extremely fast, and Zamasu was wrapped up in an instant, and the body dissipated again. No. Zamasu hissed and shouted as hard as he could, but his body was still destroyed. Watching Zamasu dissipate, and after a while without recovering, Vegeta was stunned. This will end. Bunch 090. From yesterday to today, he and Kakarot were beaten to death, and they didn't kill these two guys. Got gloomy. Unexpectedly, after the other two merged, although their strength was much stronger, they were still easily solved by Chumo. It was so easy that he couldn't believe his eyes. No, that guy hasn't been wiped out yet. Sun Wukong said suddenly, his eyes flashed a little dignified. Chumo was also at a loss. It was indeed the case. Zamasu, who was originally destroyed, still had a trace of it. The presence of breath can only be discovered by super-sensitive breaths like him and Sun Wukong. Isn't this guy's immortality lowered by 1 level? This way he won't die. Chumo really wants to put a middle finger on the dragon god, your uncle. You must give him a good beating. Ding! Release an indefinite sign-in task. Beat the dragon god Salama for 3 days and 3 nights. Complete the sign-in, get the corresponding sign-in package. Chumo just finished thinking about beating the dragon god Salama, and the system here released the task, leaving Chumo speechless for a while. The dragon god Salama is at least a super strong man who does not lose to the Grand Priest, even if he is about the same strength as Weiss now. But in front of the Great Priest, Weiss can be crushed to death by 1 finger. Let Chumo challenge the dragon god. This system is not afraid of big things. However, who is Chumo? If you are afraid of this, then it is not Chumo. Isn't it just beating for 3 days and 3 nights? I must do it. The dragon god who made so many mobs is also time for a beating. Chumo thought coldly. Nani, is this guy still alive? Vegeta was stunned when he heard Sun Wukong's words, and even Trunks was stunned. What is the origin of this guy? Is he so perverted? The corners of Chumo's mouth rose slightly, which is also the case in the anime. Although Zamasu's immortality has declined. But the essence is still SSS level, the attack just now is indeed not enough to completely destroy him. Come out, Zamasu, the attack just now didn't kill you. Stop peeking. Chumo raised his head and said to the sky. Just after speaking, the sky suddenly condensed a large number of purple light spots, and then quickly gathered together. After a while, Zamasu appeared in the sky. It's just that Zamasu at this time no longer has the high spirits he had before, but instead has a ferocious look on his face. Damn you! Human beings are all tiny ants. This time I'm going to kill you completely, die for me. Zamasu is like a wounded beast, his eyes are full of bloodthirsty, and red blood is constantly emerging from his body. The light, obviously, has been furious to the extreme. He was beaten like this by a Saiyan, and he was played a lot. This is absolutely unforgivable. Your lines are too old to be new. Chumo sneered, his body flashed away, and instantly appeared in front of Zamasu, his fist as big as a casserole straightened. Pick up the past. Zamasu just wanted to avoid, but found that Chumo's fist with a powerful punch, directly blocked the surrounding him, compressing him into a small space. Bang! Zamasu's face distorted instantly. The body also drew a meteor, which fell directly to the ground, smashing the earth into a 10,000-meter pit. The whole earth was trembling, scaring the countless remaining Earthlings to their foreheads. They looked up at the sky, where Earth's last warriors were fighting the demon. This was Earth's last chance, and they all prayed in their hearts. 218s also got up. They looked at each other regardless of their own beauty, and then slowly got up. They believed that with Chumo, everything would be fine. Put tisk, I'm sorry, I really can't stand the look of you pretending to be 13, so I can't help but take action. Who made you grow up? It's not enough, man, you'd better learn from me, Loki is king. Chumo looked at Zamaz below coldly, and his disdainful eyes made Zamaz extremely angry. Come on, God, come and kill me. Chumo looked at Zamaz with a playful face, and hooked his palm. A half-dead idiot god, even standing still, Zamasu can't do any harm to him. The ability to swallow energy is very abnormal. As long as it does not exceed Chumo's energy, it cannot cause damage to him. Harm. Unless you use fists and feet, there is still a little possibility. But in this regard, Chumo has an SSS-level immortality, which is even more incomprehensible. It can be said that Chumo is consumption, and he can beat Weiss. Unlimited energy, energy devouring, immortal body, super bloodline, it is the perfect matching package. Damn human, I absolutely, will never let you go. Zamaz stood up angrily again, his body suddenly inflated dozens of times, like a big balloon. General. Then the body collapsed, flew into the sky with a squeak, and then descended extremely fast, punching Chu 1.5 silently. Die. With the piercing roar, Zamasu's face looked extremely hideous. Chumo still sneered, watching Zamaz coldly fall from the sky. Bang! The whole earth trembled again, and Zamaz, punch directly hit Chumo's forehead. The powerful impact energy burst out in an instant, and it was directly transmitted dozens of miles away. Even the three of Sun Wukong and Vegeta had to back away from this energy. But Chumo still remained motionless, like a giant who lifted the sky. Fuck, this is the power of God. Too weak, too weak. Chumo said coldly, then grabbed Zamaz's arm and threw it out easily. Hey! A fat pig. Zamasu flew out. Chapter 162 The Bribed Wes. Destruction. Chumo used destructive energy again, not once, but twice. Instead, he wanted to see how many resurrections this undead body has dropped by one level. Quote. Zamath snarled again, turning into a star. However, it didn't take long for Zamaz to recover again. Destruction. Ah. Destruction. Ah. After a dozen times in a row, Zamasu's faint aura finally disappeared completely. Chumo sneered and fought with the young master, it was so tender. The young master has unlimited energy. It is no problem to send destructive energy as many times as you want. It is trivial to play to death. After getting Zamaz, Chumo returned directly to his residence. As soon as she saw Chumo's figure, Chu Shuexin jumped up directly. Dad, is that guy done? Is there any problem that can't be solved when my father comes out? Of course, it is solved, and there will be no problems in the future. Chumo said with a smile. Great, great. Chu Shuexin hugged Chumo and kissed her. It's just that the future number 18 on the side heard it with a sad face, and looked at 08 Chumo in despair. Are you going back? Future 18 asked lonely, she only saw him one night, is it going to be separated again? On the 18th, she also had a sad face. She had just chatted so well with her future daughter, and her relationship was deepening. Waiting. Well, I'm going back. But you can also go to our place to live together, why does it hurt so much? Heart. Chumo blinked his eyes and said confidently. Is that okay, Dad, can Mom and I go back there? Chu Shuexin said to 18th's thoughts, and the two women looked at Chumo nervously. There's nothing wrong, I'm the king of the realm when I was a trainee. The real one is still your little mother, who dares to say anything? Exclamation mark quote. Chumo said domineeringly, it doesn't matter at all. Moreover, he himself came back from the future time and space. Who said anything? Under the leadership of Trunks, Sun Wukong and Vegeta also came to number 18 Feet's house. Hey, Chumo, let's go back, things here are over. In a few days, we will participate in the 12. A meeting of cosmic forces. Just leave it to Trunks here. Vegeta explained his intentions directly. Yeah, we're going back soon. I'm going to continue practicing. Sun Wukong was excited. The Zamas he met this time let him know that there are many powerhouses in the universe, and he must keep it up. Okay, but I'm going to take them back with me. Besides, now that the Earth is in ruins, we have to recover. Repeat it. Chumo said lightly. But Piccolo is dead and Earth has no Dragon Balls. Sun Wukong said. Who said that Earth's Dragon Balls must be used? Why not use the Dragon Balls of Namek? Chumo is speechless. Do these guys have problems with their brains? In the anime, too, it is not necessary to leave the dragon, but to use its own power to restore the Earth. It's not self-indulgent. In Dragon Ball World, if you don't need Shenlong, what else can you use? Well, that's what I said. Sun Wukong was at a loss for words. He really didn't think about how to restore the Earth in the future world. I always feel that this human being in the future time and space needs to do it himself, and it is none of his business. Chumo directly sensed the breath of the Namekian, and then moved directly and instantly. With the help of the Dragon of Namek, the god of the Earth, Dandy, was resurrected, and then Piccolo, Tianjin Fan, K. Lin et al. Were also resurrected. Seeing that the Earth had regained its former prosperity, Chumo and others left the future time and space happily. After returning to the original time and space, Beggs and Weiss happened to be there. Seeing the two number 18s and Chu Schwexen, Beerus couldn't help frowning. Chumo is too crazy. The people of the future time and space bring back this time and space. This is a blatant violation of the order of time and space. Just as he was about to say a few words, suddenly a black shadow came, and Beerus was startled, so he tried to dodge, but found that he couldn't move. A second later, Beerus' eyes narrowed with satisfaction, a piece of stinky tofu stuffed in his mouth. Eat yours, and if you still want to eat, don't talk too much. Chumo said lightly. It's okay, I don't see it. Beerus gulps down the stinky tofu with an expression I hadn't seen. After eating the stinky tofu, Beerus pointed to number 18 and asked, Hey, Chumo, how about letting her play together? ? However, you must not let the high priest see the two of them. He can feel that number 18 has the same power as Sun Wukong and Vegeta. With such a master in the power conference, the odds of winning will be a little higher. Then he pointed to the future number 18 and Chu Schwexen. The great priest was not so good at talking. I don't mind, what does my wife mean? As for the high priest, as long as Weiss doesn't say anything. Who will know? Chumo threw the question to Weiss. This guy is the son of the great priest. If he informs, no one can hide it. Beacons instantly turned his eyes to Wes, and number 18 also looked over, and said lightly, if you promise not to say, I can consider introducing you some delicious food next time. It's a word. Weston said 990 with a happy face, as long as there is food, everything is negotiable. There are still 3 days left, have all the candidates selected for the competition? Chumo asked suddenly. Almost there. Sun Wukong said, Chumo, you, and me, Vegeta, number 18, Gohan, Pick, Tianjin Fan, K. Lin, Boo, number 17. Boo. Chumo is speechless. It seems that the number of people has not changed, but the cloth. If nothing changes, this guy will definitely fall asleep in the end. You'd better find an extra substitute in case of an accident later. Go to the spirit time room while you still have time. Practice for a while. I believe that after this incident, the two of you will gain a lot. Chumo kindly persuaded, and then went home with his 2 wives and daughters. The next day, Chumo was awakened by the arrival of Beerus. "Hey, what time is it? You're still holding a woman." Beerus felt a headache, as if he was the only one who was worried about the power this time. It doesn't matter if Sun Wukong is heartless, Chumo is still flirting with flowers, and Beerus feels himself. "I'm going crazy. I have a wife, a daughter, and I'm not a single dog, so why don't I hold a woman?" Chumo's sarcastic tone made Bizons extremely unhappy. "Isn't this laughing at him as a single dog? Thanks for visiting 5G Shao Say." Chapter 163 The tournament begins. "Okay, stop talking nonsense. The great priest came just now and said that King Quan summoned you to come over." Beerus explained his intentions directly, followed by the realm god Shin and Whis. "Summon me." Chumo was stunned for a moment. What the hell is this? Although King Quan can be considered a good talker, Chumo knows that in King Quan's eyes, he is probably the same as himself. Others are more interesting. "Yes, the high priest didn't say anything about it. Just go with us, don't worry, I didn't tell the high priest what happened yesterday." 18 and Chu Schwexen of the future time and space. "Janzi, let's go." Chumo didn't know what was going on, so he had to make plans in advance and took a lot of delicious food from the servant. Food and toys hit the road. Under the leadership of Weiss, Chumo and the 4 came to the Temple of All Kings not long after, but Chumo found that at this time, many people have come. Looking at the clothes and decorations on his body, Chumo found that these were the gods of destruction and angels from the 12 universes. And the King of Gods. Seeing the arrival of Chumo, everyone's eyes swept over. Seeing Beerus, almost 10 other gods of destruction focused their attention, and they were full of anger. Chumo estimates that if this is really hot, I am afraid that Beerus would have been burned to slag. It seems that there are not many of these goods before. Offend these gods of destruction. In addition, the power conference of the whole universe was held by the private competition between the 6th universe and the 7th universe. I am afraid that the other 10 universes will regard the 2 brothers as a common enemy. Chumo, you guys are so late, I've been waiting for a long time. King Quan couldn't help pouting when he saw Chumo pedestrian, obviously a little unhappy. "I am very sorry, Lord Quanwang, we are late." When Beerus and Kaiwang Shin heard this, they immediately fell to their knees in fright, trembling, and their faces turned pale. Only Chumo and Weiss were standing. However, Weiss is the son of the great priest, and it is normal to stand, but Chumo is no different. Suddenly Chumo attracted the attention of the other 10 gods of destruction. How sacred is this? Chumo was a little unhappy when he saw King Quan, and felt a little uneasy in his heart, but he quickly thought of a good way. He took out an all-purpose capsule and said, "We are late, but it's just to prepare a gift for you. Food and delicious food. You see, these are all for you." "Really?" King Quan was instantly happy and flew to Chumo. Face curious. "What is it? What is there to eat and play?" "Wait a minute, don't worry." Chumo smiled, threw the all-purpose capsule, and then, bang, after a burst of white smoke, a huge box appeared in front of the king. "Hey, these are snacks for you, jelly, beef jerky, spicy strips. And these are all fun. This is flying chess, backgammon, and beast fighting chess." Chumo took out things one after another, and quickly covered the entire ground, making King Quan go up and down with joy. Flying around, looking very happy. Chumo's operation immediately caused a stir among the gods of destruction and the god of realm in the other 11 universes. Huge sensation. They never thought that it was so easy to please King Quan, not so difficult at all. It's really hard for them. I have always been trembling, for fear of offending King Quan. Was wiped out of the universe. After a while, the great priest asked several god attendants to pack up all the gifts brought by Chumo, and then said, "Okay. Now, let's get down to business. Next, I will announce the official notice from Lord Quanwang." The power conference is about to start, but Lord Quanwang can't wait, so I called you 12 today. The God of Destruction came here to hold an overview game ahead of time, so that His Royal Highness the King could see the exciting game ahead of time. Overview of the game. Yes, it's up to you gods of destruction first, get ready. I'll get the ring ready now. Perform, for Lord Quanwang. The great priest began to wave his hands, and began to create things directly out of thin air. Suddenly, a 1,000-foot tall appeared in the temple. Small square ring. As expected of a great priest, he created this arena with ease. Chumo couldn't help being shocked. If it was him, even if he wanted to make such a big ring, it would take a lot of time, let alone make it out of thin air. 1,000-foot sized arena. It is worthy of being the top 5 powerhouses in the universe, and the comics show the #1 powerhouse in all the universes, so Chumo. The strength of the great priest is even more shocking. Then, your high priest, as gods of destruction, should we also participate in the power conference? Asked Ligil, the god of destruction in the 8th universe, and his question is also what all the gods of destruction want to ask. If all the gods of destruction participated in the power contest, then this game would be their god of destruction show. Although there are humans who surpass the power of the god of destruction, they are still very few. As the supreme ruler of your own universe, you are also considered as the inhabitants of the local universe, for your universe. Fighting, this is also your duty. The great priest said lightly. When Chumo heard the words, he couldn't help but be stunned. Is this a butterfly effect? If that's the case, then the situation is no fun. Ramsey, the god of destruction of the cross, frowned. It's miserable. It's miserable. I haven't practiced for decades. What should I do now? When Champa heard this, he suddenly became confused. He didn't expect this to happen. That can't be helped. Who made Mr. Champa always like to sleep, Qianhao, and not cultivate? That's good. It was still Vados who fell into trouble for the first time. Hurry up and start. Quan Wong opened a pack of spicy sticks, took a glass of Sprite, and ate happily. It just so happened that a beautiful fight was missing for him to appreciate. Yes, start now, Lord Quanwang. All the gods of destruction hurriedly bowed to answer, then flashed their bodies and fell onto the ring. Then, High Priest, what are the rules for this battle? Keen, the god of destruction in Universe 12, asked excitedly, looking at Beerus. It was self-evident. There are no rules, as long as you fight with all your strength. As for the power conference, wait for you after this game. To be sure. The High Priest said lightly, but you can't let water in the battle, if Lord Quanwang is not happy. But it will be removed. Chapter 164 2vs11__. Nanani. The 12 gods of destruction were startled, and quickly expressed their opinions. Please rest assured, Lord Quanwang, we will never release water. Yes, you will be satisfied. HMPH, fight with all your might, we can finally decide the winner, Beerus, don't you think? The god of destruction in Universe 4, Ketla, looked at Beerus with a defiant expression, but this time it was the victory between them. Negative good tilde timing. Prove who is the strongest god of destruction. While he has beaten Beerus in a wrestling match, Beerus has beaten him in other ways as well. Do you want to find fault? Keetra, I will accompany you. Beerus was also silent, not afraid at all. Although he is not compatible with the gods of destruction in other universes, even in the face of the alliance of the 11 gods of destruction, he will. Don't be afraid. Because he's Beps. Humph. Beerus heard that this match was also because of the private competition between you and the 6th universe, which made the whole king. Adults are interested. The clown god of destruction in Universe 11 said savagely, that he was already upset with Beerus. In that case, let's eliminate Beerus first. Rigel, the god of destruction in Universe 8, said suddenly. Yes. Count me in. Agree. Great idea. Middle. All the gods of destruction agreed in unison, who made Beerus fall asleep during hide-and-seek hundreds of millions of years ago. And this sleep lasted for 50 years, almost made the king of the whole destroy all the universes, and finally broke the 11th. The bad god tried his best to make King Quan happy. Bepston was shocked. Although he was confident, it was also very difficult to face the 11 gods of destruction directly. However, depending on the situation, there is no other way but to bear it. You're all set, so get ready to start. The great priest came out and announced the start of the game. The 11 gods of destruction immediately began to prepare to join forces, and suddenly, the voice of King Quan sounded. Wait a minute. The 3 words made everyone stunned for a moment, then stopped all movements in an instant, and looked at King Quan in unison. Could it be that their plan to join forces against Beerus was known to King Jaeon? His Royal Highness, do you have anything to add? The Grand Priest was also somewhat puzzled, but still looked at King Quan respectfully. Well, I want to ask, why don't you let Chumo participate in this panorama competition? Don't you guys welcome him? King Quan shifted his gaze to Chumo, very puzzled. As a good friend, he also really wanted to see Chumo's battle. Since His Royal Highness King Quan wants to see it, what do you think, Mr. Chumo? The Great Priest was stunned for a moment, then turned and asked Chumo. Chumo was also taken aback. Nima, I'm just an audience, why bother with me? However, Chumo is not afraid. With his current strength, he is not afraid of any god of destruction. Even if they join forces. I have no problem, it's very interesting to play with so many god of destruction lords. Chumo shrugged and said that he was fine. Have fun. An arrogant human being, dare to speak like that. Sure enough, it's the same virtue, and it's just as annoying as Beerus. The gods of destruction were furious, and this human being was too arrogant. Who did he think he was going to? At this moment, Chumo is in a normal state, and these gods of destruction can't see how powerful Chumo is. However, King Quan didn't know the thoughts of these gods of destruction. What he knew was that he could see his good friend Chu. Silent fighting heroics. Since Mr. Chumo has agreed, there is no problem. Then Mr. Chumo, come in quickly, the game. Getting ready to start. The Great Priest said lightly. Chumo smiled, his figure flashed, and he appeared on the ring, standing beside Beerus. Why are you here? Beerus whispered. If I don't come, you will be beaten by the group. Chumo said lightly, with a smile on his face. Cut, I want you to take care of me, without you, I'll be fine. Beerus said disdainfully, but there was still a glimmer of joy in his eyes. Just relying on your imperfect self-indulgent power. I'm afraid it's enough. Cut. Okay, when you go to play with your old rival, leave the rest to me. Can you do it? Beerus, face doesn't believe it. You can do it, but I can't. Don't lose to that mouse, it's too embarrassing. Chumo smiled. If Beerus is a cat, then Keitra is a mouse. The cat and mouse fight will never stop. Fresh flowers _ The game starts now. The Grand Priest announced. Hearing the sound, the 11 gods of destruction instantly burst into flames, and they all rushed towards Begus and Chumo in the center. Before, their target was only Beps, but now it's just another Chumo, no big deal. Hey, 11 and 2, I like it. Chumo smiled, and a trace of coldness flashed in his eyes. A little toes, Chumo and Beerus jumped up almost at the same time, dodging all the attacks of the god of destruction. Give you some fun. Chumo sneered, these gods of destruction are so shameless. Super Turtle School Qigong. Closing his hands together, Chumo directly sent out a strong energy wave, blasting towards the 11 gods of destruction on the ground. Flash. As soon as Shangpa saw Chumo's actions, he immediately retreated back, but he knew that Chumo was powerful. Other gods of destruction were stunned, but their reactions were equally quick, and they all stepped back to avoid Chumo's energy wave. Boom. The turtle Qigong wave hit the ring, then swept across, chasing every god of destruction film. However, the god of destruction is a guy with rich combat experience, and quickly avoided Chumo's energy wave, and finally only. The remaining elephant was chased by the energy wave. Damn it! Why are you chasing me? Shangpa is furious, this Chumo is too bad. You are ungrateful, you look like an idiot, you don't hit anyone. Chumo said coldly, he hasn't transformed yet. Boy, you are too arrogant. Pick up my energy wave. Delicious enough to quit, he was bombarded and run by a human. Shame. Boom. The two energy waves collided, and a terrifying shock wave swept the entire arena instantly. At this moment, the figure of Bizons disappeared in a flash, appeared directly behind Wei Maida, and kicked away quickly. Chumo also followed with a flash, came to the fifth universe god of destruction Alec, punched away. Bang! Bang! Although Wei Maida and Arak are not weak among all gods of destruction, Chumo and Beerus are extremely fast. With two muffled noises, Wei Maida and Yarak were directly knocked out by Beerus and Chumo. The two gods slammed into each other directly and then bounced off each other. Thank you for visiting 5G Small. Chapter 165 I Want to Fight 10. Chumo sneered, just as he was about to continue the attack. Suddenly his body was grabbed by a pair of big hands, but it was the third universe's breaker. The bad god Moss took the opportunity to attack. This guy is a robot himself, covered in metal, and the strength of his hands is amazing. Chumo did not transform, and it was difficult to break free for a while. Seeing this, Beerus wanted to help Chumo, but was stopped by two old acquaintances. It is the god of destruction of Universe 11, Umid, and the god of destruction of Universe 4, Quatra. Beerus, take care of yourself first. Keitra sneered and punched him directly. Beerus, I'm going to beat you up today, give up your resistance, I'll be gentle. Hee hee. Delicious and smiling very proudly. Campari, the angel of the third universe, smiled happily. Weiss, you from the seventh universe are also not very. 447. Like, this guy was easily caught by Lord Moscow. He's lost. Not necessarily, just wait and see. Weiss didn't care, he took out a plate of stinky tofu and ate it directly. Hey. Vados came to Weiss in an instant, kicked Weiss out with his feet, and then took possession of a plate of stinky tofu. Wow, delicious. Vados squinted his eyes and enjoyed it very much. Since the last time she ate this stinky tofu, she, like Wes, fell in love with the taste. Sister, you don't need to be so violent, anyway, I'm also your brother. Just for a plate of stinky tofu. You do this to me. Weiss looked at Vados with some resentment, feeling helpless. Margarita seeing that Vados ate Wes' food again, she became curious, but she just came over. He covered his nose. You guys eat such a stinky thing too. It's really not up to the standard. What do you know, it smells bad, but it tastes delicious. Vados has lost a bit of her ladylike image, just pick it up piece by piece and eat it. Really so delicious? Margarita wondered, then tried to take a bite. Wow, this is indescribable. It's delicious. Margarita's expression made all the angels couldn't help it, and they all gathered around, came up, and ate it, piece after piece, piece by piece. Come. In the end, it was almost robbed. After this incident, stinky tofu officially became famous in the 12 universes, and later the 7th universe Earths. There will be no shortage of orders. Even Chumo didn't expect that this stinky tofu was brought by him from a previous life, even if it was the land of the 6th universe. Ball, no one will do it. This is Chu's secret recipe, it is not rumored. The field was hot, and the angels were also hot. Beerus faced the attack of Umida and Keitra, and it was too late to dodge, so he had to put his arms on his chest. Forward. The strength of these two guys is not bad, although the strength of Wei Maida is a little worse, but it is also regarded as the 12 gods of destruction. Upper middle level. Especially the fourth Uyu's god of destruction, Quatra, is no less than himself, so Beerus looked helplessly. He glanced at Chumo. Boom, boom. The two fists slammed into Beerus's arms, and the enormous force directly sent Beerus flying out. His feet rubbed the ground, and the golden light continued to flash, and he kept going backwards for 1,000 meters before Beerus stopped. The back is the edge of the ring. If he is beaten, he will become the first god of destruction to be eliminated. Damn it. These two guys are so tough. Beps frowned. Seeing that Beerus was blown away, Ketra and Waimai smiled at each other, and immediately attacked again, not giving any competition. Respite for Ruth. The three gods began to fight fiercely, and flickering figures kept appearing around the ring. Here Shampa saw that Chumo was caught by Mosk, the god of destruction in the third universe, and immediately grinned, HMPH. Now it's your turn, Chumo. Let's go together, this guy is not easy, get rid of him quickly. Shampa invites the other gods of destruction to come along. Iwan, the god of destruction in the first universe, Ligil, the god of destruction in the 8th universe, Yara, the god of destruction in the 5th universe. Graham. The 8 gods of destruction attacked Chumo in unison. It seemed that they also wanted to eliminate Chumo directly. Go. Want to gang fight? Interesting. Chumo showed a sneer, and the cold light flashed in his eyes. Ah, ha. Chumo roared, and orange-red arrogance erupted from his body. I want to hit 10. Chumo directly transformed into a Super Saiyan state, and his hair also turned red, as if, Lunhong. Then another golden arrogance rose up, like a giant dragon hovering and flying, and the two arrogances were compatible. It turned into a reddish gold color. The boundless momentum brought lightning and thunder. Even if this was the Temple of All Kings, it was still blocked by Chumo. Transforming momentum effects. The angels who were competing for Stinky Tofu were also shocked by Chumo's breath, and they all looked over. He also a new god. Never heard of it. Only Weiss. Eyes flashed with confidence, and he was not surprised at all. It's really interesting boy, he has strengthened again in a short period of time. Vados looked at Chumo's figure with a smile on his face, and the inexplicable smile in his eyes made Macaulay on the side. Tower couldn't help but be stunned. This Vados seems to be a little different. The red-gold arrogance was instantly like the dazzling rays of the sun, venting out, and the impact was even greater. Chumo's red hair began to grow, and terrifying golden lightning flashed all over his body. In the Super Saiyan Super 4 state, Chumo has become this state again. The opponents are 10 gods of destruction, and his pressure. The power is still great. Yeah. Chumo easily opened Moscow's iron hands, and his body flew out like a bolt of lightning. Then kicked hard on the cold metal body. Hey. 1.9. The extremely hard Moscow body was directly kicked by Chumo to the edge of the ring. Knocked out. The third universe god of destruction, Mas, has been eliminated. The faint voice of the great priest sounded, and immediately caused the third universe's realm god El to panic. This is too fast. I hope Lord Quanwang will not be disappointed. Chumo also used the powerful anti-shock force of this foot to fly directly to one of the attacking gods of destruction. Don't hesitate, fight. Yuang saw that Chumo just kicked out a god of destruction, and immediately greeted him in the middle, letting the rest. God of destruction, don't be careless. Bang, bang, bang. A violent loud noise continued to sound, but Chumo face-swirled his body and attacked the 8 gods of destruction. Catch. Chapter 166_. The 9 figures separated at the same time. Chumo was still surrounded by the center, and his face was still full of smiles. The other 8 gods of destruction had solemn expressions on their faces. Mas Koko is the most powerful of all their gods of destruction. Of course the weight is also the heaviest. But even so, he was kicked out of the ring by this guy. Of course there is Moscow's careless performance, but more of this guy's terrifying strength. And this guy is really hateful. He actually pretends to be a pig and eats a tiger. He is obviously a fairy, and he actually pretends to be a human being. Come here suddenly. Sure enough, with Beerus, there are not many good ones. In an instant, Chumo was labeled, hypocritical, cunning, and terrible, by the other 8 gods of destruction. Everyone, let's go together. Don't keep your hands anymore, let's eliminate him first. Ewan, the god of destruction in the first universe, said with a heavy face, although his strength is 1 level worse than Beerus and Ketra. Silk, but also the top existence in God of Destruction 08. By a half-human half-god guy, Punch, this guy's strength is definitely not weak, very strong. Understood, let's go together. Ligil, the god of destruction in the 8th universe, said loudly, with a powerful force on his body. Burst out. The rear tail directly becomes a 9-tailed pattern. He took the lead in attacking Chumo, and the 9 tails behind him also began to condense terrifying energy bombs, facing Chumo. Boomed over. Damn it, 9-tailed fox. That's fine too. Hey, use your tail to fire energy bombs, doesn't your tail hurt? Chumo, face teased. Ligier looked confused. I was attacking with my tail, you asked me if my tail hurts. Are we the same problem? You respect me, okay. The other 7 gods of destruction also attacked at the same time, hiding Chumo up, down, front, back, left, right, and right. All escape spaces are blocked. The attack of the 8 gods of destruction, even if they were as strong as Chumo, could not help but change their expressions at this moment. Humph, do you think I'd be afraid of joining forces like this? Chumo roared, and the energy in his body burst out like starlight in an instant. The entire arena was illuminated by Chumo into a red gold, and there were tiny stars sublimating in it. Wow, so beautiful. As expected of Chumo, such a beautiful attack. King Quan was excited when he saw his little face, and he liked this color very much in his eyes. This Chumo's strength is indeed very strong. It seems that the rules of the power conference prepared before this will be changed, down. The great priest looked at Chumo and suddenly muttered to himself. Super Turtle School Qigong Wave. Watching the powerful energy waves from the 8 gods of destruction, Chumo broke out the strongest power of Super Saiyan Super 4. A turtle Qigong wave with a size of 4 or 5 meters was blasted out by him, and the light blue energy wave flickered. Red Golden Arrogance. Boom. 2 incomparably powerful Qigong waves collided head-on, and in an instant, the entire arena began to shake violently. Up, the shock waves of terror began to radiate out in all directions. All gods of destruction immediately stopped attacking and began to resist this powerful energy shock wave with all their strength. However, a transparent mask appeared on the edge of the ring, blocking all the countless terrifying shock waves. Come. Arena also began to calm down, as if just now, everything was a dream, only the teeth were still gritted. The gods of destruction are telling others that this powerful shock wave still exists. Even Chumo can only condense a layer of red golden arrogance with his hands, close them and place them in front of him. It is the anti-shock force that resists the shock wave. At this moment, every inch of Chumo's muscles exploded, as if he had used all his strength. He could easily defeat any of these gods of destruction, but think about fighting all of them, and still is difficult. Even Weiss cannot directly confront him. Damn, are Beerus-sama and Chumo being targeted? You must resist. The realm god Shin whispered, his face very worried. Unexpectedly, the 7th universe was targeted as soon as he played. Well, hopefully they'll be more careful, these guys aren't easy. Weiss also had a serious look on his face. This situation is very dangerous. Ah, when did these guys become so aligned, damn it. Chumo felt a little sore in his arm, and couldn't help but scold these gods of destruction for being insidious. Don't let the water go, increase your strength and beat him. Seeing that Chumo was actually holding their 8 gods alone, Li Jaer hurriedly shouted, such a powerful opponent. Once breathed, they are not opponents at all. Your sister, where did the pervert come from to be so powerful? It looks like a human, but it fights like a god who is even more powerful than them. The other 7 gods of destruction also increased their strength at the same time, and their faces were flushed. Well, will they still have to mess around in the future? Zizizi. The energy wave instantly soared more than 10 times, and the diameter became 100 meters in size, directly making Chumo's super turtle aura. Power wave swallowed. Hey! Almost in an instant, a terrifying energy wave had already blasted from Chumo. The powerful energy waves that can destroy several universes, and 543 swallowed Chumo's body in an instant, leaving only the next half of the body. Dangerous. The realm god Shin was shocked, and Beerus was even more shocked when he saw this. The 8 gods of destruction on the opposite side were also confused. They were all confused and forgot that there was only one person on the other side. They were all thinking about defeating Chumo before, and they never thought this would happen. Is Chumo going to be killed? The king's small eyes were full of worry. No, don't worry, Lord Quanwang. This kid's strength is more than that. The great priest looked at him lightly, with a confident face. I have lived for hundreds of millions of years, and the great priest has never seen anything. Chumo's Super Saiyan state is Super Saiyan. It's not like he hasn't seen it. Moreover, from Chumo's breath, he did not feel any weakening. On the contrary, he was still very strong. This shows that the energy attacks of the 8 gods of destruction did not cause much damage to him, at least his. The breath is not chaotic. Hee, is this the power of your 8 gods of destruction? It's really strong. A cruel look appeared on Chumo's face, and half of his body was destroyed. However, he has SSS, level immortality, which is not something that these gods of destruction can kill. Remember me. Chapter 167 Super Saiyan God's Freedom. Chumo said coldly, and his body recovered in an instant. What? What's the matter? Everyone be careful, this kid has immortality, we can't kill him. Increase the strength and blow him down. Go. Ligier exclaimed immediately. Chumo sneered, and his body immediately disappeared in place. So fast. Do you want to be so fast? Be careful. All the gods of destruction shouted loudly and immediately became alert. But they couldn't find Chumo's figure at all, as if he had completely disappeared in the ring. Next second, 3 consecutive muffled, bang bang bang, I saw the 2nd universe's god of destruction Hellas in the 8th universe. Ligil, the god of destruction in the universe, and Sidera, the god of destruction in the 9th universe, shot back in an instant, as fast as lightning. The 3 gods of destruction wiped out 3 deep marks in the arena and flew directly out of the arena. Harris, Ligier, and Sidera are eliminated. The voice of the great priest sounded, and the eyes looking at Chumo became curious. At that moment just now, Chumo should have used the perfect freedom extreme intention technique. Interesting, this kid actually knows this. That's right, the current form of Chumo has changed again. The red golden hair turned red, and the inner infrared golden arrogance that was burning outside the body now became the arrogance shape of silver inside and outside red, and Wagwang rises, and the little stars continue to linger. The pupils also turn silver. Super Saiyan free extreme willing form. This is the first time that Chumo has performed the perfect free-spirited extreme will, so on the basis of Chaosai God, he can change this form. At this time, Chumo's eyes were firm and cold, like an iceberg of 10,000 years. See Gui, Chumo is so powerful, he defeated 3 gods of destruction at once. King Quan clenched his fists tightly, looking very excited. His Excellency, what's going on with Chumo? The flames coming out of him are so powerful. Super. Awesome. Yes, this is the form of Super Saiyan plus Zizai Jigong. For hundreds of millions of years, there are not many people who can do it. Chumo is one of them. The great priest had not seen anything for so many years, and immediately said Chumo's state. It's amazing, Chumo. Come on. The realm king Shenshin stared at Chumo and shouted, there was still a little bit of the image of a god at this time. Indeed, I didn't expect that in such a short period of time, Chumo would be able to perfect the Zizai Ji Gong to a perfect process. Degree. What a surprise. Whis said with a smile, even among the gods of destruction, none of them can cultivate the ultimate self-cultivation to perfection. The perfect Zizai Ji Gong, coupled with Chumo's original strength, this time, his true strength is completely can be ranked in the top 20 of all universes. In this way, at the Power Conference, we don't have to worry. The realm god Shin said excitedly. It's hard to say, some old monsters may still be alive, and their strength is no worse than Chumo. Now Chumo appeared early and caught their attention. So, when I think about it, there must be a stronger opponent. Appear. Weiss said lightly. There are so many old monsters in this universe, how can there be only such a few people? Chumo looked at the remaining 5 gods of destruction coldly, and sneered in his heart. There is a reason why he chose these 3 gods of destruction. Ligil is cunning and always acts as the first. The role of the strategist, do not eliminate him, followed by annoying. The god of destruction in the 2nd and 9th universes is relatively weak, and eliminating them also saves a lot of effort. The remaining 5 gods of destruction were stunned for a moment. In the blink of an eye, they lost 3 more allies. Done. Moreover, the actions of Chumo just now, each of them can see clearly, it is too strange. Zizai Ji Yi Gong. Yi Wang deserves to be a powerful god of destruction, and quickly guessed what Chumo was using just now. It seems so, and it seems stronger than Beerus's. It's more perfect. Ramsey, the god of destruction in the 10th universe, said hesitantly, his tone full of disbelief. Beerus' talent is arguably one of the best among them gods of destruction, but he has gone through hundreds of millions of years. He also failed to cultivate this self-contained extreme intention gong to a perfect level. It can be seen how difficult this practice is. But the Chumo in front of him, who is less than 30 years old, has already practiced Zizai Ji Gong to a perfect level. This is so special. It's a freak. Good job, Chumo. Kick all these guys off the ring one by one and let them know what it is the strongest. Bishops, who was fighting Keitra and Delicious, shouted excitedly. Even if he lost the Panorama game, in the later Power Conference, it must be their 7th universe who won. Damn it. Miscalculation. I didn't expect Beerus to be so cunning. Keitra, do your best. Quickly eliminate Beerus. Go and help. Yumi looks angry. Now it's just a last resort. Weed out Beps, and they went over there to help. There's still a chance to win. Otherwise, if 11 fights 2 and they lose, then they really don't need to meet anyone. Good. Go all out. Keitra also knew that if they didn't do their best, they would be embarrassed. Immediately, a powerful aura erupted from the body of the 2 gods again, and the figures kept flashing away, attacking Beerus. The silhouettes of the 3 kept flashing on the ring, and the powerful air waves shook the surrounding space constantly. The bursts of space waves are general. Beerus felt the pressure doubled in an instant, and even if he used his good Ji-Gong, he seemed to be a little bit nervous. Tired up dragon. Chumo's figure disappeared again, and a strange scene formed in the arena, and the 5 gods of destruction looked alarmed. Prepared to look at the empty arena around, constantly on alert. Bang! Shankpa's body shot backwards, as fast as lightning. Seeing that he was about to fly out of the ring, fortunately, the god of destruction in the 12th universe, Jin, responded quickly and flew over immediately. He grabbed the figure of Shankpa flying upside down. Yuan, Yarok, and Ramsey were dispatched in an instant, and their figures disappeared, and they kept attacking Chumo. Chumo is like a willow leaf, constantly dodging up and down in the lightning attack of the 3 gods of destruction. No matter how fast the 3 of them attacked, they couldn't touch Chumo's body. It seemed very helpless. Yeah. Yuong's crazy output. Some sweat appeared on Ramsey's forehead, and his fists were as fast as lightning. Thanks for visiting 5G Xiao, say. Chapter 168 The Five Gods of Destruction. Chumo walked leisurely, as if he was walking, without any tension. On the other hand, the five gods of destruction, Yuong and Shangpa, looked extremely ugly. They had already used the fastest and strongest. But they couldn't help Chumo at all, which made them very hurt. However, Chumo seems to be very leisurely, but the load on his body is very heavy. It also made him feel a powerful load. If the Monkey King in the anime can insist on perfect and free extreme mind power for 5 minutes, then Chumo can at least insist. Half an hour. However, the fighting method of Zizai Ji Gong is not brute force, but skill, mainly the speed of improvement. When attacking, the main thing is not to improve the strength, but to control the strength and attack the opponent's weak points. It is impossible to defend, and because the speed is too fast, the damage to the opponent will also accumulate quickly. Although his own strength has not improved, the control is more refined, and the strength of the attack surface is concentrated to the point. The power of the explosion at the moment of the attack is completely applied to the opponent without wasting it all. The power itself has not changed, but the strength of the attack is greater than the effect of increasing the power itself, so it is more. The characteristics of comfortable and extreme show 083 speed, reflexes, skills. Chumo made a comparison and found that it was more accurate to evade with the ultimate freedom, but when attacking, or rely on its own strength. This is why, even if Jiren doesn't have the ultimate freedom, he can use the perfect Sun Wukong with the ultimate freedom. Unable to maintain this state of play. Wanting to understand this, Chumo exited the state of Zizai Extreme Intention, and directly became the state of Cheasai Shenzhuan Chao. This is the strongest form. As the anger and the battle continue, the combat power is continuously enhanced, but there is a super competition. God's state, he recovers quickly, and his consciousness will not be weakened in any way. Hey, why don't you use Zizai Ji Gong? You can't hold on anymore. Shangpeian said with a smile. Their god of destruction has also practiced the ultimate mind power, so they naturally understand the consumption of this stuff. How huge. Then next, it's our turn. Alec, the god of destruction of the fifth universe, smiled proudly. Really, you can come and try it out, isn't my hairstyle different now? Chumo smiled grimly. Arrogant. Is your current state okay? The god of destruction in the 12th universe, the golden-faced indifference said. Men must never say no, okay. My wife knows. Chumo Hehe, laughs. Stop talking nonsense, come on. Yuong roared and took the lead in continuing to attack. Yarok, Shangpa, Jin, and Ramsey also attacked and surrounded Chumo in the center. Come on, the rest is to solve you. Chumo clenched his fists tightly, and a vast bright green arrogance shot up from his body. Bang! Bang! The entire arena vibrated violently in an instant. Chumo's body instantly swelled up, and the muscles all over his body seemed to be inexhaustible. Stronger than. Seeing this, Vados narrowed his eyes. So strong. As the battle progressed, Chumo was continuously hit by 5 gods of destruction, but it was only after Chumo was just a few steps back, no harm at all. However, Yuong and the others were constantly hit by Chumo, and the 5 figures were continuously shot back, all of them being shot by Chumo. Chumo flew away. Compared to Chumo's calmness, Yuong and Shangpa were constantly baring their teeth and grinning. It all hurts. Chumo is like a humanoid fighting machine. He doesn't feel pain at all. Instead, he fights more and more bravely, constantly destroying the 5 gods of destruction. Hit fly out. Such a record is enough to be proud of all the universes. The god of destruction in the 12th universe suddenly turned into something like a light blue wave, and began to turn Chumo's body wraps up. Yiwang of the first universe roared in an instant, and his body began to skyrocket, turning directly into a 4 to 5 meter sized one. Giant. No, what is this? Chumo felt that as soon as the light blue thing approached him, the surrounding space suddenly became sticky, as if he had entered the water. His movements also became sluggish. In the face of Yiwang's fierce punch, Chumo could only fight back. Boom. With a loud bang, two powerful air waves erupted instantly, sending Chumo and Yiwang both flying out. Zzz. Chumo's feet were inserted into the ring, two traces were drawn, and one slid straight for hundreds of meters. And Yiwang also slid hundreds of meters before stopping, and the two sides had similar strength this time. However, Chumo's condition is not very good. He is now on the edge of the ring and almost fell. Go on, he's going to die. Yiwang rubbed his arm, aching pains. Don't hold back. Shampa shouted, and the purple energy star instantly condensed from the palm of his hand. Yarok, Ramsey, Jin, and Yiwang also made the same move, blasting the strongest energy directly at Chumo. Quantity. Come on, let you try out the power of the 100 times turtle school Qigong wave. After speaking, Chumo slammed out a dazzling energy wave with both hands. Boom. Chumo directly swept the energy wave, and directly carried the energy bombs of several gods of destruction. Zzz. Ring to shake. Frowning, his hands emitted a silver light, and the ring was reinforced again. Beerus was also attracted by the strong fluctuations on Chumo's side, and the three gods looked towards Chumo's side. Good guy, he actually carried the powerful energy of 5 gods of destruction alone. I am afraid that only a few angels can do it. Whis couldn't help frowning. Although he could kill Beerus directly with a knife, really speaking, his energy. At most, it was the sum of the energy of 3 or 4 gods of destruction. I am afraid he is also very difficult to carry the energy of the 5 gods of destruction so hard. I didn't expect that Chumo's energy would be so strong. Stronger. The powerful air wave shook out directly, and Chumo and the 5 gods of destruction were directly shaken out. Fortunately, Chumo reacted in time and quickly swept aside, which prevented him from being knocked back and eliminated. At this time, the 5 gods of destruction also turned pale, panting, and looked at Chumo in shock. Is this guy still a god? I am afraid that only the old monsters of the previous generation have such strong energy. Kim, go and entangle Beerus. Eliminate him first. Yiwang said in a deep voice that now we can only concentrate the power of Ketra and Waimai, so that there is still a chance to win. Otherwise, if it drags on like this, I am afraid that 11 of them will lose to 2 nasty guys like this. Thanks for visiting 5G Xiao, say. Chapter 169_. Although there were only 4 left, Chumo, time couldn't help the other party under the madness of Yiwang. Although these gods of destruction are not his opponents purely in terms of energy, which one has not experienced hundreds of millions of years. The battle is the spirit of the spirit. On the other hand, with the addition of a 12th universe of gold, Beerus's situation began to deteriorate. In the anime gods of destruction attack each other, so Beerus is a lot easier, but now all the gods of destruction are set. It became difficult for him and Chumo to be targeted. No other god of destruction has come to deal with Jin, and he can use his special abilities at full force. Beerus' movements, which were still easy at first, soon slowed down. After a few minutes, it was crushed to the verge of being crushed by the cooperation of Ketla and Wei Maida, and it didn't take long for it to be completely suppressed. Out of the ring. It's over, even Lord Bizens has been eliminated. Weiss, what's going on? The realm god Shin looked frustrated. Damn it. These guys, it's the first time they are so united, it's really annoying. Beerus, who was eliminated, looked at the ring with a dejected expression. It was the first time in hundreds of millions of years that he had been beaten by such a family. Team up to deal with it. Hihi, who made Beerus-sama fall asleep in hide and seek, and the other god of destruction will naturally take revenge. Weiss still had a mocking tone, which made Bipus even more depressed. In the ring, Chumo looked at the 7 gods of destruction, and his heart was calm. Looks like I'm going to finish picking out your 11 gods of destruction. It's a rare feat. Chumo sneered, and then shouted. The bright green arrogance on his body became stronger, as if a huge magical beast was rising. There was even a bright green auspicious cloud in the sky, and with the roar of Chumo, it continued to strengthen every second. Stand up. Chumo's bright green hair began to grow, and a tail appeared behind him, going back and forth strongly. Shake. His eyes were completely golden, but there were no pupils, and streaks of golden lightning could not be seen outside him. Broken crackling sounded. Suddenly, Chumo's figure disappeared directly under the gaze of the 7 gods of destruction. Where did it go? Uruk was shocked, and the other gods of destruction hurriedly searched around. And the gods such as Yiwang couldn't help but think. What a formidable opponent. Are you looking for me? A cold voice suddenly sounded from behind Ramsey and Alec, and the expressions of the 2 gods changed drastically. Just as he was about to turn his head, he suddenly felt a huge force behind him, followed by a sharp pain in his back. The body flew into the air involuntarily. Not good. Hurry up and stop him. At the same time as the voices of Kitra and Waimai sounded, the figure swept past. But Chumo was faster, his body jumped up, and with one kick, he kicked directly at Alak and Ramsey. Chest. PFF'd. PFF'd. The 2 gods of destruction immediately spewed out a bloody arrow, and their bodies fell like a meteor, directly hitting the ring ground. Bang. Bang. 2 bangs. Boom. The arena shakes violently. Under the powerful force, the 2 gods of destruction were not so lucky this time, and their bodies were directly pierced by hundreds of meters. Height of the bottom of the ring. Hey. Hey. Alak and Ramsey also fell out of the ring directly and were eliminated directly. Uruk from Universe 5 and Ramsey from Universe 9 are out. The Grand Priest announced directly. Good job, Chumo. It's really good. Barusti, Time cheered for Chumo, so relieved. Realm King Shenshin also had an excited look on his face, but he didn't expect Chumo to suddenly show his power, it was too strong. See Gui, Chumo is super powerful. King Quan clenched his fists tightly, his face was full of excitement, it was so cool to see. Pick up a glass of Sprite and drink it directly, it's cool. HMPH, even without the 2 of them, we can still beat you. It was so delicious that it seemed to have no effect at all. Together, don't let him take it too easy. Kitra said fiercely. After the words fell, the figure flashed out and rushed towards Chumo. The other 4 gods of destruction also rushed forward, as fast as lightning. Chumo clenched his fists, his eyes flashed a cold light, and silver starlight rose from the body again. Flowers. Re-enter the state of the ultimate free will. Super Race God plus Chuan Super, plus the free extreme mind power. These 3 forms are all superimposed together, causing Chumo's pressure to increase greatly, and his body suddenly feels sore. Nima, this state is at least 10 times greater than the previous pressure. Chumo felt like he was about to collapse, but he still persisted. Since no one has ever experienced this form, he will try the first one. In the eyes, there is a cold indifference. Seeing the 5 gods of destruction rushing in, Chumo's face was neither happy nor sad, and his body turned into a phantom, standing still. Only a few strands of silver-white starlight arrogance remained. Good fast. Kitra and the others suddenly felt bad. Before they could react, Chumo's figure came to the 10th place. 2 behind the cosmic destruction god Jin. Chumo's speed seemed to surpass the distance of space, and it was no different from teleportation. At this moment, the eyes of all the angels are dignified. At this moment, Chumo's strength has surpassed most of them. Point. I can't see that this guy's strength has grown to this level, and he is stronger than last time. Weiss. It seems that you are no longer his opponent. Chuck. Vados teased, with an expression that you have fallen behind, brother. Maybe, who knows? Saiyans are so special that they may not know it themselves. Weiss is not interested in this power ranking, so what if he is better than him, as long as he has something to eat? Bang! Chumo's fist smashed directly on the chest of the god of destruction. Wow! Jin spit out a mouthful of blood directly, and then his body instantly slammed into the arena ground without fighting back at all. Force! The arena was smashed into a big pit of dozens of meters. This is still the arena that the great priest has reinforced, otherwise such power can directly destroy a galaxy. Damn! Shangpa was furious and punched Chumo. However, Chumo was not used to him, there was a hint of chill in his eyes, and he swept across directly and landed on Shangpa's neck. Subsection. The terrifying power directly swept the chubby elephant's body out, even if the skin was thick and fleshy, the elephant was also. Painful grin. Zhang, thank you for visiting the 5G small network. Remember me. Chapter 170. There are only 2 left. Bang. Shangpa's body finally fell on the ring, and then instantly passed through the thickness of the ring and reached the other side. Jin, the god of destruction in the 12th universe, has the same fate. Chumo fell directly from the sky, and his knee hit Jin's chest heavily. With a click, even as the god of destruction, Jin's chest was directly broken by an unknown number of ribs. Then, under the huge impact force, Jin's body also pierced the bottom of the ring and flew out instantly. The destruction god Elephant Pa of the 7th universe is eliminated. Qin, god of destruction in the 12th universe, eliminated. The great priest announced at the right time, and he was also greatly surprised that this Chumo was able to integrate into 3 states at the same time. Really great. Damn. Kitra was furious and punched Chumo. 620, was not too slow to taste. With a whirlwind spiral on both feet, it quickly kicked towards Chumo. Yiwang jumped down even more, his body rotated, like a soaring diamond, directly drilling towards Chumo. The 3 directions, up and down, front and rear, left and right, were directly blocked, making Chumo unable to avoid it. Pass away. But in the state of Zizai extreme intention, Chumo's speed is not like a god, surpassing the speed of light, turning into silver light flying. Shish. No matter how fast the 3 of them attacked, Chumo was still calm, and his eyes were calm. The rest of the gods of destruction shouted to the 3 of Kitra, and for them, they were half human and half god. It's intolerable to beat the guy in one fell swoop. This is a huge insult, and it is absolutely impossible to lose like this. Seeing that these guys were shouting, Beerus gave it his all, and kept shouting to cheer Chumo. Chumo, work harder, and quickly throw these 3 guys out of the ring, save them from chattering. Looking at Chumo's figure, Wei Mei was very annoyed, and looked like he was going to swallow him alive. How can this guy be so strong? It's stronger than us. Stop talking nonsense, think of a way, or we'll all be embarrassed. Kitra sneered, his eyes never looked away from Chumo, and he was quickly calculating in his heart, what should he do? The attack can be effective. I don't want to be laughed at by that Beerus guy every day, I definitely won't lose like this. Yiwang also returned to his original state at this time, and his eyes were still very firm. Of destruction, but he is definitely the most tenacious. Thinking of Beerus' smiling face, the 3 gods of Kitra were very unhappy and prepared to start the final. Attacked. However, Chumo didn't give them such an easy time. With a sound of shoo, Chumo's figure disappeared again, and it appeared in front of them again. Chumo, who was in the state of freedom and extreme intention, was so fast that even the god of destruction could not fully see it. Chumo's target this time is Wei Mead, who is relatively weak among the 3 gods of destruction. Be careful, Joker! Kitra shouted, and his body immediately swept towards Humid. Again, I'm not a clown, call me Yummy. Wei Mei was furious, and the mouse called him the clown every time. It made him very angry. If it weren't for the same goal now, he would have dealt with this mouse long ago. As soon as Wei Mei's voice fell, Chumo's figure appeared directly in front of him, so frightened Wei Mei hurried. Push your feet and step back directly. But he is faster, Chumo is faster, directly ignoring Ketla's heavy punch. The backhand is an elbow hit in the delicious S chest. Boom. The low voice sounded. Yu Mei was so delicious that he had already covered his body with his arms, and he was still blocked by Chumo. Break defense. The powerful force directly caused the deliciousness to shoot out, and there was no resistance at all. At this time, Kuatra's fist was worthy of a bang, and Chumo fluttered directly. Easy to avoid the fist, follow the right leg. Collided with Iwan's thigh. Bang. The two took a few steps back. Chumo was not ambiguous at all. He folded his hands again, and instantly condensed a powerful wave of energy. Super Turtle School Qigong. With a low roar, the energy wave in Chumo's hand quickly blasted towards Kuatra and Iwan, and there was no response to the other party at all. Opportunity. Nani. Kitra was shocked, but there was no chance to react, so she could only force her body to turn one by one, worthy of avoiding Chumo's energy waves, but I can no longer take into account Iwan. Yiwang was shocked, but he couldn't dodge, so he could only protect his arms in front of his chest. Boom. The entire arena trembled violently, and thick smoke spread out instantly, covering the entire arena. Stand up. A few minutes later, the smoke and dust gradually dissipated, but what appeared in front of everyone was a tattered arena, a big one. Half of them were collapsed by this energy wave. And Yiwang, the god of destruction in the first universe, had already sat quietly in the auditorium, with a depressed face. He has tried his best to block Chumo's energy wave, but the opponent's energy is too strong. Can't stop. Even, Iwan felt that if he was not in the game, he might have been directly killed by the opponent. Horrible guy, if it wasn't for my quick reaction, I'm afraid even I would have been eliminated. Kitra looked terrified, and now there are only him and Wei Mei, the clown, and I am afraid it is not Chumo's right hand. The first universe god of destruction Iwan is eliminated. The high priest's voice sounded again. Virus and the realm god Shin were overjoyed, and they shouted and cheered for Chumo even harder. What kind of waves can the remaining two turn over? Wait to die. Hey, are you two going out on your own? Or shall I throw you out? Chumo's smirk made Ketra and Wei Meidu particularly unhappy by 0.5. After all, we are also gods of destruction. For so many years, even the great priests have not told them that. This kid is so arrogant, to actually talk to them like this, it's really hateful. Could it be that today's young people don't have any etiquette to respect the elderly? Damn, don't be proud, you are just a new immortal, and you have no manners at all. Kitra said angrily. But from the tone of voice, it can be seen that he has softened. Rat, what? You're going to admit defeat. Don't count me, even if you can't beat it, in my dictionary. No surrender. Delicious looked at Kitra with disdain. These words made Chumo look at this clown god of destruction differently. This guy's will to fight is the best. Strong. Chapter 171 Throwing the Mouse Out. Who wants to admit defeat? Fight if you want. Ketla, furious, roared, and took a final fighting stance. Wei Mei's face was also ruthless. The two gods looked at each other, and their figures flashed at the same time, swept towards Chumo's position. Humph. Overcome. Chumo's eyes shot out a cold light, and his body flashed out at the same time, welcoming him. Bang. Bang. Almost at the same time, the three fists collided violently. However, Chumo's strength is even greater. Chuan Chao and Chao Sai God, Chumo, is nearly 5 meters tall and has a fist even more huge. One punch blasted Ketla and Wei Mei directly out. When the two gods were halfway through, a mouthful of old blood was sprayed out, and their breath became sluggish. It seems that he suffered a lot of injuries, and there were even 4 rows of messy footsteps left in the arena. Steps on your own. At this time, their faces were even more ugly, and the arm that collided with Chumo trembled involuntarily. 08 was almost unable to lift, and the entire arm was temporarily disabled. Okay, come again, have fun. Chumo felt that the power in his body had skyrocketed again, making his breath continue to become stronger, as if he is a god of war, no one can beat him. Damn it, the power and energy of this guy is so terrifying. Although we are very unwilling, we do not as good as him. Yume gave a wry smile, but soon cheered up again. Kitra's eyes became solemn, and she looked at Wei Mei. One last fight. After finishing speaking, Ketla directly blasted an energy ball over, facing Chumo's figure, as if she was powerless. War. Fight to the death, I'll do it for you. Chumo snorted coldly. Seeing the incoming energy ball, Chumo slapped his hand back, like swatting a fly. However, this time the energy ball did not explode, nor did it bounce off. Hey! The energy ball is like a ball of water, and it opens directly, emitting a blue light that instantly wraps Chumo's body. Go in. However, Chumo did not panic. Instead, there was a stern look in his eyes, and he looked coldly at this layer of blue energy. Quantity wraps him up. Yeah, it worked. The king of the gods of the fourth universe shouted loudly. He is very clear about this ability of Kitra, it is very powerful. Even Kitra's face showed a hint of excitement. Those who don't know them don't know that he still has this trick. Damn it. Forgot to tell Lao Chu to be careful about Kitra, this is going to be difficult. This mouse is too sinister. Beerus looked worried, more angry. Nice job, mouse. Damn it, disappear for me, bastard. Wei Mei looked at Chumo angrily, as if there were laser beams shooting out of his eyes, and he wanted to smash Chumo's corpse into pieces. General. Then, with a wave of both hands, dozens of powerful energy cards appeared in front of him, and his right hand pointed to Chumo, densely packed. Ma's energy card flew over immediately. The energy card flew to Chumo and immediately exploded violently, and the entire arena was filled with brilliant sparks. And light. Wow, so beautiful. Quan Wang's little fists danced excitedly, looking very happy. He didn't forget to eat another spicy stick, then drink a glass of Sprite. This guy, I don't believe you can stand it. Wei Mei's face was also pale at this time, and the trick just now was also very draining on him. Kitra, who was on the side, was also slowly relieved, and his forehead was also sweaty. The energy ball just now was very laborious for him to control. Hoo-hoo, he should have no choice. We win. Next, leave it to me. Looking at the smoke full of smoke, Kitra looked smug, and in such an environment, it was in his best interest. With a sinister smile, Kitra jumped and dived directly into the smoke. After entering, the 10 gods of destruction, who were still full of hope, waited for a while, suddenly disappointed. Because, after Kitra entered, there was no sound at all. There should have been at least the sound of battle. The sound is not there at all now. Soon, the smoke dissipated. 2 figures appeared in the sight of all the gods, but they exclaimed. Beerus, isn't this situation what you dream about? It was Chumo's voice. Hey, nice job, Chumo. It's great, the dead mouse won't have to play this time. Beerus stood up and exclaimed excitedly. Although it was not him who was holding Kitra at this time, Chumo did it, and it was considered a breath of relief for him. I saw that Chumo's right hand was wide open at this time, clutching Kuatra's face tightly, and the bright green arrogance on his body had already disappeared. Wrapping up Kitra makes him have no resistance at all. What's going on? Delicious is so suspicious, it shouldn't be. Cough, damn, if you have the ability, let me go. If you have the ability to arrest people, if you have the ability, let me go. Kitra was grabbed by Chumo's face, feeling that he couldn't exert any strength. And the powerful force made him almost suffocate his breath, and then there was a feeling of shame. When has he ever been caught like this? It's so abominable. You seem to be unconvinced by 483. You are welcome to come to the 7th universe to find me one-on-one at any time in the future. Chumo said coldly, then jumped up, and the bright green arrogance in his hand rose sharply. Bang! A violent crash sounded, and Ketla's head slammed into the arena, and a kilometer-sized pit slammed again. Appeared, Ketra's head was pulled to the side. He was already in a coma. Being blocked by Chumo's arrogance, even as the god of destruction, Ketra couldn't handle it. With the impact of great force, the gorgeous army passed by. Chumo sneered, grabbed Ketra's body like a dead dog, and then threw it out. Hey! Ketra just flew out of the ring in a coma and was eliminated directly. The 4th universe Ketra eliminated. The great priest said with his hands behind his back, looking at Chumo's figure, he couldn't help but shine a little more. This kid is very strong. As the voice of the great priest fell, Yumeda's complexion became extremely ugly. Now he and Chumo are left in the ring, and he is left alone and has nothing to do. The rest is that he will either go down by himself or be left by Chumo in some way to thank him for visiting 5G Xiaowang. Remember me. Chapter 172 Destiny _ Hey, you're the only one left, what should you do? Are you going down by yourself? Or will I drop you? Chumo said coldly, this delicious attitude is very arrogant, and Chumo has always been unhappy in the anime. The tone is very domineering, which makes Wei Mei very unhappy. Wei Mei gritted his teeth and said, boy, show some respect. I'm also a god of destruction anyway, the 11th word. Supreme God of Zhou, if you dare to talk to me like that, be careful not to end. He made a direct threat, and he was not a master without assassination. You talk a lot, come on. Chumo didn't want to say anything more, so he bent his palm inward, signaling for him to attack. Damn. Wei Mei knew that he was not an opponent, but he would not give up easily and attacked directly. Chumo smiled coldly, his body flashed past, and he instantly appeared on the delicious road. So fast. Wei Mei was stunned for a moment, his plan was disrupted by Chumo's sudden appearance, and he quickly stepped back. But he hadn't stepped back very far when Chumo's voice sounded behind him again. Hey, can you hurry up? It's hard to wait so slow. Chumo's voice frightened Wei Mei into chaos. When did this guy go behind me? Delicious enough to stop quickly. But before he could turn around, Chumo's figure appeared in front of him again, staring straight at his face. Wei Mei is furious, is this guy kidding himself? So fast. This Chumo's speed is so fast that I can't see it. Beerus was shocked, only Yume was left. Chumo didn't need to be distracted to deal with other gods of destruction. With all his heart, Chumo's speed once again increased to a startling level. Well, it's as fast as me. Weiss looked calm. His speed is the fastest of all, and Chumo's speed is already on par with him. Cut, I think Chumo has already surpassed you. Beerus said mercilessly, it was rare for him to make fun of this fellow Weiss. Weiss ignored Beerus' ridicule, grabbed a sauced elbow and gnawed it. So delicious. Wei Mei was furious, and punched him, but halfway through his fist, he found that Chumo in front of him had disappeared again. Ni. Wei Mei felt as if there was a breath behind her. She was shocked, and her brows were tightly knit together. This time he didn't look back, he flipped 180 in the air and swept his right leg behind him. PFF'd. A muffled sound, not too much force collision. Yumei's face changed dramatically in an instant, and it was miserable. Chumo's big hand directly grabbed Wei Mei's right leg, and with his hands, he directly lifted Wei Mei upside down. Stand up. Then, bang bang bang, as delicious as throwing cloves, it was shaken back and forth by Chumo, unable to resist. Together. On the extremely hard arena, two human-shaped deep pits appeared neatly, one on each side, very neat. Hearing this voice, the other gods of destruction who had already been eliminated rejoiced. Fortunately, they were eliminated. Especially Mosco of the third universe, suddenly feeling that he was eliminated by the first one doesn't seem to be a bad thing. There was only sympathy on Kitra's face, and he felt the same way. When he was killed by Chumo's face just now, he was also depressed to death. It seems that sometimes being too tough is not necessarily a good thing. From this moment on, the remaining 11 universes have an intuitive understanding of Chumo's strength. 3 days later. Targeted by 11 universes. However, Chumo doesn't care at all. Even Beerus doesn't care. Otherwise, he wouldn't have fallen asleep while playing hide and seek. Only the realm god Shin was worried, would this be too arrogant? Weiss, you guy from the 7th universe is too arrogant. How dare you treat such a delicious adult like this? Be careful later. Tailed Makarita said to Weiss with a threatening look. I can't control him. Besides, his strength is not lower than ours. Who can control him? Weiss doesn't like this, even though Makarita is a relative. Hey, Margarita, are you threatening Wes? The arena is based on your ability. If you are not convinced, you can go directly. Vados said bluntly. She and Makarita often fought tit for tat, and they were used to bickering. Giggle, I'm not fooled. A muscular guy, nothing to see. Just like you like this kind of muscle. Male only. Margarita said disdainfully. What about the muscular guy? Anyway, it's much better than your 11th universe's Yume, and now he has. There was no resistance. Heck, it looks like he's about to faint. Vados giggled and said contemptuously. Your family is not beaten like a dog by Mr. Papa. That just makes Mr. Shumpa know that there are gods outside of God. Maybe Mr. Shumpa can lose weight, lol. No. Like, someone, maybe. Vados is not afraid of Shumpa's presence. I'm sad. Margarita glared at him. Vados is also welcome. The body, one, came to the opposite side of Makarita, and looked at each other. In the air, it seemed to freeze, and the invisible rays of light of the god of death were violently colliding. In the blink of an eye, Wei Mei was smashed thousands of times by Chumo, and her body was almost scattered. There are scars everywhere, and the breath is extremely wilted. At this time, the deliciousness has long since lost the stamina of the past, and it is no longer stubborn. How, do you still have the ability to deal with me? Look at your appearance. Accept your fate. Chumo said disdainfully. Wei Meido's face is extremely ugly, but Naihe's body doesn't even have any strength, only he's good. Look at Chumo's smug smile. Forget it, go down. If you don't agree, come to the 7th universe to find me. After speaking, Chumo threw Wei Meido out of the ring, and he did it neatly. Seeing that her own god of destruction was thrown out by Chumo, Makarita hurriedly ran over to catch it, and then immediately ran for her. He healed. It has to be said that Angel's treatment level is really good, much stronger than Chumo's S level. Great, we won. The realm god Shin shouted loudly. Win if you win, what's the joy, and there is no reward. After winning, Beerus was not so excited. Seeing this kid, King Shin, looked happy. Can't help but joked mischievously. Ah, that's true. Realm King Shin seemed to have lost his passion. This is just an overview game, for King Quan to watch, and the Grand Priest did not say that there is no reward. Chapter 173 Freeze's Fear. I am afraid that at the Power Conference in 2 days, Chumo will be targeted by these universes, Lord Bizons, it seems that. You have to be careful. Weiss smiled, still so black-bellied. Looking at the king, they won't be like this time. Beerus was a little depressed. Our Lord Quanwang doesn't care about this, as long as the game is lively enough, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. Tai. Weiss's words immediately made Beerus and Kaiwang Shinshin's faces look as ugly as they had eaten shit. Patronizing the cool, forgot that there is still a war behind it. From this point of view, this round-up competition is a pit. Chumo looked around, smiled smugly, returned to normal, and then returned to the audience seat of the seventh universe. The Grand Priest turned around and said respectfully to King Quan, His Royal Highness, King Quan, I wonder if you are satisfied with this comprehensive game. It's super nice. Everyone is doing well. King Quan looked excited, and then continued, I really want to see the power conference soon. Chumo, you are super powerful. When the time comes, you must do your best. After speaking, King Quan looked at Chumo with excitement, even a little admiration. 510 inches, don't worry, you won't be disappointed. Chumo said confidently. The panorama competition was over, and Chumo and others returned to Earth in the seventh universe. Before parting, Vados gave Chumo an eyebrow. On the other hand, Margarita glared at Chumo, as if to remember him. This is interesting, even a beautiful angel is really different from each other. Chumo sneered in his heart and didn't take it to heart. Back in the seventh universe, in the backyard of Chumo's villa. Now that we have greeted the other 11 universes, Chumo's strength has also been exposed to other universes. In front of us, so our candidates have to be reselected. Beeps called Sun Wukong and Vegeta together and gave a brief overview of the game. Sun Wukong suddenly said unwillingly, he did not participate in such a grand event. Stop talking nonsense, the current situation is that we have to find stronger players. Beerus looked unhappy, he was very nervous now, because the High Priest just said it not long ago, this time it was 12 words. Joe can only leave 5. Although the 1st, 5th, 8th, and 12th universes are also participating, but their civilization level is high. Will not be cleared. Then, the next thing is that there are only 8 universes competing for a spot. In this way, the competition is very big. Originally, the 7th universe was not welcomed by other universes. Now Chumo is ruthless. Knocked down the gods of destruction in these 11 universes. The 7th universe is a thorn in the eyes of all universes. Beerus believes that there is no strong teammate, even if it is Chumo, and there is no certainty of victory. I don't think it's necessary, Lord Beeps, don't underestimate Keelan, Tianjin Fan and the others, now they. The potential is full, and the cultivation is very hard. Chumo said lightly. Crap, after Chumo raised the potential of Krillin et al. To equal Super Saiyan 3, these days. Tianjin Rice and others have been working very hard. Now their potential has been fully exerted, and their combat effectiveness is no less than when they played with Boo. Sun Wukong in battle. When Beerus heard that Chumo was so confident, he was dubious and asked again, are you sure? It's just for fun. Don't think that you are friends with Lord Quan Wong, and think that Lord Quan Wong will not clear you. Master Quan Wong won't care about this, he will definitely not be soft-handed if it should be eliminated, even if it is you, Chumo. Chumo smiled faintly, didn't care too much, and said, don't worry, we won't lose. Sun Wukong said, the candidates are, Chumo, you, and me, Vegeta, number 18, Gohan, Piccolo. Tianjin Fan, Krillin, Boo, Beerus-sama. On the 17th, he said that he is not interested in participating in the AA Power Conference. He is now the administrator of the Earth's forest. Sun Wukong spread his hands and said, Vice is very helpless. However, he said that it can be used as a reserve player. If there is a problem with our candidate, he can be the top. Then, Sun Wukong added another sentence. Okay, that's it, you guys make good use of these 2 days. Wes, let's go, 2 days. After that, let's go together. Beerus said lightly, this time, the god of destruction will also participate in the power conference, so he naturally has to exercise hard. One time. Strive to go further. Piccolo and others have been working hard on the Temple of Heaven for a long time, especially knowing that they are about to face 11 universes. Of all masters. It is a powerful battle that arises in their hearts. After so many years of hard work, they finally have the place to play. Fight for Earth. Fight for humanity. However, when Chumo and the others came to the Temple of Heaven, they heard something else from Kaylin. Sorry, Goku, I can't participate. Krillin said apologetically. Why? Sun Wukong, stunned, he knows Kaylin's heart for martial arts as a martial artist. Kaylin lowered his head and looked embarrassed, and said, I met a girlfriend, just the day after tomorrow. I want to watch a movie with her. So. After speaking, the bald head touched his head, looking very embarrassed. After being a bachelor for so many years, he finally found a girlfriend, and naturally he wanted to accompany her more. Everyone was speechless for a while, but they all said that they could understand the mood of an old bachelor. It's okay, I have another choice. Chumo said lightly. Really? It's really good, Chumo. Krillin quickly and loudly thanked. After Sun Wukong, Vegeta and others entered the spiritual time room to practice, Chumo also left the Temple of Heaven. When he appeared again, he had come to Hell. Countless huge candies floated in the sky like clouds, but below it was a scarlet blood pool, which looked like comes very weird. And next to the blood pool, there is a metal thorn tree. Frieza looked unhappy in what looked like a silkworm chrysalis. Seeing Chumo's figure, Frieza looked over subconsciously. Damn you, you even chased after Hell, you bastard. When Frieza saw Chumo, her heart trembled. He will never forget the moment when he was ravaged by Chumo, that tragic, that kind of fear. But Frieza was once a generation of cosmic emperors, and remembered that this place was hell. Could it be that I can still be killed once? Thanks for visiting 5G Xiao Wang. Remember me. Chapter 174 The Last One, Frieza. Frieza cast aside her fear, and suddenly sneered. Fuck, I didn't expect you to have today, and you came here. Jail with me, Gaga. Looking at Chumo, Frieza felt excited. Although it was not his revenge, seeing Chumo's soul after his death made him feel much better. I'm afraid you're too happy too early, I'm different from you. I don't have this circle tilde. Chumo sneered, then pointed to his head. Frieza hurriedly looked over, and sure enough, Chumo's head was empty, not like himself. With an aperture. You're not dead, then how can you get into hell? Frieza suddenly felt unbelievable, how could someone who is not dead come to hell? Chumo smiled coldly and said to Frieza, you are so ignorant, it's so pitiful. You don't know. There's a lot going on. Now I'll give you a chance, it's up to you to seize it or not. If you behave to my satisfaction, I can take the test. Thinking of resurrecting you, you don't have to stay here anymore. Oh, are you begging me? Frieza's mind was spinning very fast, but he just didn't see the truth clearly. Please, are you thinking too much? I just see how much ability you still have, and I want to reform you. Opportunity. In that case, let some of them accompany you to continue to have a good time. Chumo looked at Frieza coldly, and then waved to the little angels next to him to let them continue. Hee hee. Chuck. As soon as the little guys heard Chumo's request, they flew over immediately and grabbed Frieza in the silkworm chrysalis. Play quickly. Ah. I hate this feeling, let me go. Frieza cried out, very unhappy. Chumo didn't care about this. With a wave of his right hand, dozens of little more angels came out and followed Frieza. Play quickly. No, don't do this. Frieza howled in pain, feeling like killing a pig. But Chumo couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. It's not really a punishment. It's these little angels who play with you. Just playing. Compared to other hell punishments, this one is pretty good. But I don't know what kind of psychopath Frieza is, and he still hates it. Chumo couldn't help but look at this Frieza with contempt. It seems that this guy is used to being perverted and doesn't like pleasant things. Laughter. After more than 10 minutes, Frieza couldn't take it anymore. Today's little devil was several times more than usual. He had even more headaches, and was about to collapse. Chumo, Get these little things away. Frieza looked terrified. Then you've decided. Chumo has an indifferent attitude. I agree. 100% agree. Frieza hurriedly yelled, but your heart seems unconvinced. Convinced. It's just that I don't seem to agree with your mouth. Convince yourself. I'm convinced. Why does your voice sound like you're not convinced? No, I am convinced, even the voice. Frieza hurriedly perverted, with a horrified face. These little demons came again. I don't want to swing on the swing. Are you sure? Very sure. I must listen to you. Frieza hurriedly shouted, hoping that Chumo would save him from this devil hell. Well, since you agreed sincerely, then I'll save you. Chumo smiled slightly and waved at the group of little angels, asking them to find something else to play. Feeling the breath of God on Chumo, the little angels chatted for a while, as if they were ordering something. Chumo, laughs, took out a packet of candy from his pocket, and handed it over. The little angels happily accepted Chumo's candy and flew away immediately. Frieza finally breathed a sigh of relief, and looked at Chumo no longer so hard. He also knew that he was worthless in front of each other, and he never wanted to come back here again. So, he chose to surrender. People are under the eaves and have to bow their heads. Okay, follow me. Chumo grabbed Frieza's shoulder and instantly moved back to the Temple of Heaven. Chummer, Frieza. When Kling saw Chumo, he was immediately happy, but when he saw Frieza behind him, he was panicked again. Although he has the strength of Super Saiyan 3, he is still very afraid of Frieza, and Frieza's gold form is also very powerful. Ask for flowers. Don't worry, he is one of ours now. With me here, he doesn't dare to play any tricks. Chumo said lightly. Frieza was listening, and he didn't dare to show any inconsistencies. Full. Okay, now it's time for you to enter the spiritual time room. Dad and Uncle Vegeta have already gone in, we have to wait for the next batch. It seems that the spirit time room can only enter 2 at a time. Son Gohan walked over and said. It's alright, I'll take you in. Who said there can only be 2? Chumo smiled lightly, and then swiped his hands one by one, tearing open a space directly. Let's go. Sun Wukong, Piccolo, Tianjin Fan and others also followed. Then it's up to you. You must work hard to improve your strength. Piccolo, your potential. Strong, don't give up. And Gohan, your path is very similar to mine. Must work hard, at least rise to enlightenment. Empty that Super Saiyan Blue state. This time the opponent is very strong. Chumo said lightly. But, that's Super Saiyan Blue, I can't do it. Son Gohan was a little less confident. Gohan, you can do it, I believe in you. Piccolo patted Son Gohan on the shoulder, confident. From a long time ago, he knew that Sun Wuhan's potential was very strong. As long as he could tap it, he would never ask. Subject. Well, for the 7th universe, let's work together. Son Gohan nodded heavily. Thinking of Bidili and Xiaofeng, who was just born, Son Gohan is full of fighting spirit. And you, Frieza, you practice hard. Although your golden form is good, our opponent is 11 universes, your strength is not even a cannon fodder. Chumo said coldly. For the first time, Frieza saw a magical place like the spiritual time room, and she was shocked. However, he still obeyed Chumo's words. No problem, in 2 years, I will definitely become strong. Hee hee. Frieza has a confident face and looks at Chumo with a complicated look. If you are confident then, you can challenge me. I don't mind. Chumo said lightly. Chapter 176 Killer Attacks. I agree, my 4th universe is involved. Kuatra also had a firm look on his face. There were no super strong people there. If Chumo died, it would be less difficult. A lot of. At least, the 2 of the 1st and 8th universes will not be involved. In this way, he is the strongest among the gods of destruction, and his 4th universe has a great chance of surviving. However, this time, the gods of destruction in other universes did not agree. In the end, only the 4th and 11th universes conspired to act. Next day, Chumo woke up in two entwined arms of number 18, and looked at the two wives on the bed. Chumo felt in his heart a burst of warmth. Suddenly, Chumo seemed to sense something, showed a sneer, and disappeared from the villa. When it reappeared, it was already a wasteland tens of thousands of kilometers away from home. "You guys, come out!" Chumo shouted towards the void with his hands behind his back. Shish! Suddenly, several figures appeared around Chumo, each of which was covered. "Chumo, you have nowhere to go. Die!" Masked 09 people finished speaking. The scarlet light dong suddenly passed through his chest, his pupils shrank, straight. Then fell from the air to the ground. "Cut, with this little skill, you dare to come and die?" Chumo said disdainfully. "Damn, you don't talk." "Again," said a masked man, very angry. "They haven't finished talking yet, how can they start directly? It's really unethical." But the end was the same. Before he could finish speaking, Chumo's deathlight pierced his chest. "Huh. Another one was killed by Chumo." Chumo sneered, "It's really stupid, you are all killers, what else to say, this is not a waste of time." He didn't say anything to these people who came to kill him. Anyway, they were all going to die, talking about so much dry hair. "Damn, let's go together." Another voice sounded, and hundreds of black shadows flew towards Chumo like a black cloud. "Humph, overcome." Chu Xian snorted coldly and spread his hands together, as if he was wearing a machine gun. Countless chasing crimson lights came from Chu Mo's 10 fingers shoot out. Shish! As Chu Mo's death beam shot out, the sky fell like dumplings. In less than a minute, there were only 4 of the hundreds of shadows left. "Put your whole cards. Don't waste time." A black shadow shouted, "This guy is too scary. Let's put it together." After speaking, the 4 of them directly took out a destructive energy bomb, and then quickly threw it to Chumo. Tips for carving bugs. Chumo smiled, without the slightest fear. This destructive energy is a big killer to others. Even if his strength is stronger than the god of destruction, he cannot resist this destructive energy. "Hey, you're dead." A masked man couldn't help sneering when he saw that Chumo had no intention of avoiding it. But in the next second, his eyes almost popped out. I saw Chumo opened his mouth and sucked, a strong hurricane formed, and the 4 destructive energy bombs suddenly turned into 4 thin beams. The long energy went directly into Chumo's mouth. "Nani? What kind of monster is this that swallowed the energy bomb of the god of destruction?" Looking at the scene in front of him, the remaining 4 killers were full of despair. Chumo ignored their shock, and 4 crimson light beams shot out from his fingertips. Puff puff. 4 black shadows fell directly to the ground and lost their lives. After doing all this, Chumo seemed to have nothing happened, and the figure flashed back to the villa again, and then take a shower. Soon, it was time to leave, and Beerus came to Earth early. "Why are you the only one?" asked Bishops. "They are still in the spirit time room, and they are coming out soon. Let's go to the Temple of Heaven and wait." Chumo said lightly. "Spiritual time house." Weiss frowned. "Such a thing, the Earth has it, it is really rare. If Earth is not a star, Weiss may also let Beerus destroy this spiritual time house. But now that Chumo is sitting on Earth, there is no need for him to say anything." At the Temple of Heaven, Beerus waited for an hour, almost impatient. What the hell is Chumo doing? It's been in for an hour, but he still doesn't come out. Of heaven, he went into the spiritual time room by himself. "Haven't been out for so long." Whoa! The sound of the space being torn apart sounded, and Chumo's figure suddenly appeared, followed by the bearded Monkey King. "And Vegeta et al. Cut, I thought you wouldn't come out until next year." Beerus said dissatisfiedly. If he didn't come out, he would just break in and drive them out. They were almost there just now, and now they are well, and we can go. Chumo said lightly, not at all embarrassed at all. Huh, Frieza, he's going too. Seeing Frieza with the halo above his head, Buzans immediately asked Chumo. Hello, Lord Bizans. Frieza hurriedly saluted when she saw Beeps, the god of destruction. Well, don't hold back, or I will destroy you directly. Beerus said lightly. Okay, pack up and let's go. Beerus frowned upon seeing the beards of Monkey King and Vegeta 433. Hey, wait a moment for us. Sun Wukong patted his head, looking embarrassed. Vegeta, Son Gohan, and Tianjin Fan also looked a little embarrassed, and the three of them went straight to rinse on the Temple of Heaven. After a while, several people from Sun Wukong came out, and Chumo also brought number 18 over. Beerus looked at them and said to Whis, okay, are you all here? Next, Chumo's words made Beerus almost jump into a rage. Boo is asleep. Nani, that red chubby guy fell asleep. Beerus is furious, this fat guy often snatched food from him, and now he dares to show off, really tired of living. Bar. After that, I wanted to rush to Chumo's house and destroy Boo directly. Hey, don't worry, we still have a substitute. Chumo hurriedly stopped Beerus. Anyway, Boo is playing with Chu Schwexen these days. There is hard work as well. Substitute, what the hell? Beps looked dissatisfied. That's my brother-in-law, what do you think? Chumo said lightly. Che, you guy, you still open the back door at this time. This time we have many opponents, you must let the with your brother-in-law. Beerus looked at Chumo with contempt. Chapter 177 _ His strength is not bad, the meeting will come. Chumo said confidently, I heard you were assassinated yesterday. Do you know who sent it? Beerus asked suddenly. I know how. What if I don't know? It's not the same as fighting. Chumo said coldly. There was a glint in Beerus's eyes, but he didn't say anything in the end. It didn't make any difference whether it happened or not. A few minutes later, the handsome brother-in-law on the 17th arrived. Seeing number 17 again, number 18 seemed very happy and took his brother to the side to talk. Chumo pricked up his ears and listened for a few seconds before sweating profusely. No, 18 actually told number 17 that she was looking for a few beautiful girls for him, so that after the meeting of his strength. Just go check it out. I didn't expect my wife to become so gossipy. After a while, the real King God Shin also came, followed by the old real King God and Jabbat. As for Bulma, Kiki, Sun Wushan, and Trunks, they naturally followed. Okay, everyone is here, let's go. Weiss. Beerus glanced at number 17, thinking to himself, it was a little white face again. Chumo is also a little white-faced, which made Beerus unhappy at first, and one more, and he is even more speechless. Okay, Beerus-sama. Weiss nodded, then quickly wiped out a ham, where there was still the grace of an angel. After eating, Weiss sorted out his appearance, ordered a magic wand, and said to the magic stone. Grand Priest, the 7th universe is ready. The voice fell, and I saw a white light shot from the magic stone, directly wrapping everyone. In the blink of an eye, 11 figures disappeared from the sight of Klein, Dandy and others. Wukong, Chumo, you must do your best. The 7th universe is up to you. Dandy looked at the disappearing figure and muttered. Now it's not just about the Earth, but the safety of the entire universe. At the moment when the white light appeared, Chumo began to observe carefully with his own consciousness. The great priest is already in the realm of great perfection in the realm of the gods, and I don't know how much stronger Beavis is in terms of strength. Therefore, Chumo is also very curious about the abilities of the great priest. Superior. However, he was disappointed, the time was too short, almost in an instant, they came to the arena of the boundless world. Sure enough, I can't analyze it at all . Chumo was shocked. Originally, he thought that he was almost like Weiss, but now he should be able to touch a trace of a great priest. Edge of strength. But now it seems that it is not enough, and he is still far from it. This is the realm. Vegeta and the others were shocked when they saw the endless darkness outside. A dark and dark realm. The energy is surging, and there is a chaotic airflow everywhere. There is nothing here, and life has rarely set foot in the ancient times. In the center of the boundless world, a giant spinning ring, like competition arena has been built. The ring is thousands of feet in size, but it has a peculiar shape, resembling a big spinning top. In the middle is a giant column that looks like the central axis of a gyro, which has the function of timing. But every minute of it sinks a little bit over time. There is a circle around it for the rest of the universe audience and players, and a long corridor surrounds the entire ring. The edge of 2/3 of the table looks like a circular fence. The energy turbulence washed over the competition arena, and the sound of crackling arcs continued to sound. In the next second, 12 vague rays of light suddenly flashed in the rest area of the corridor. Immediately afterwards, the contestants of all universes and the god of destruction, Kaiwangshan, angels and others of their respective universes were all gathered. Arrive at the competition arena. Standing on the giant gyro arena, Chumo looked around curiously, and his eyes fell on several other universes. Player there. Those contestants were strange looking, of all races. This time it is related to the life and death of their respective universes. It is conceivable that they should all be in their respective universes. The best. Chumo looked at them one by one, and suddenly, his eyes were in the first universe, the 8th universe and the 11th word. Joe stopped there. Sun Wukong was also very excited, looking around with his face, constantly looking at the players from other universes. Yeah, I'm so excited to have so many great opponents. Standing among the players in the first universe, there is a strange figure. The figure seems to be absent, as if it does not exist. At the same time, people cannot perceive his strength. In the 8th universe, however, there is a monster with a tiger mask, who can only see a pair of bright eyes, strong. Also mysterious. The 11th universe is a burly man with red clothes and big eyes. Jillian. A name appeared in Chumo's heart. These 3 people, except Jillian, the other 2 gave Chumo a kind of peculiar feeling. Seeing this, the corners of Chumo's mouth bent upwards, looking at him with interest. All 3 of them are more powerful than the average god of destruction. Hey, Wes, what's the situation over there? The 3 of the first universe, the 8th universe, and the 11th universe. Guys, it makes me feel bad. Seeing that there are 3 mysterious figures in these 3 universes, Beerus, the god of destruction, changed his expression and turned around. Asked Weiss. The blue-gray eyes of Weiss wandered around the 3 guys, and then said, it seems that there are many strong people in the second power conference. The mysterious people in the first and 8th universe should come from a longer time. Generation. As for the 11th universe, he is very young but his strength is more than Beerus-sama. Stronger. Are you? Che, just relying on him, can he be better than me? Beerus said disdainfully, staring coldly at Jiren, wondering if he should play with him for a while. Wow, it's the hitters. They're here too, great. Sun Wukong was overjoyed when he saw those familiar figures in the 6th universe. In the last battle with the 6th universe, he and Hit had not really distinguished themselves, so this time be sure to find a chance to fight the opponent well. HMPH, Beerus, this time you all lose. The god of destruction in the 4th universe, Ketla, saw everyone in the 7th universe and suddenly said with a provocative expression. Cut, it's up to you. If you have the ability, let the horse come over. Beerus said disdainfully. Hey, just wait and see. Not only the 4th universe, but several other universes looked at the 7th universe hostilely. Chuong, thanks for visiting 5G Xiao. Chapter 178 Proposal to the Great Priest. Time, before the game started, the murderous aura was already filling up. At this moment, a mouth suddenly cracked above the ring, and a small hemispherical floating platform broke open from there. Slowly fell from his mouth. I saw the great priest standing on the floating platform with his hands on his back. The lavender eyes of the great priest looked at everyone calmly, and then smiled. It seems that you have already. It's ready, very good. The next is to invite Lord Quanwang to come. Welcome Lord Quanwang. All the gods of destruction, the angels, and the Kaiwangshan all froze, knelt down and shouted in unison. The players also followed, got up on their knees and greeted them. Then, the purple and gold Shikian palace shuttled from the Quanwang temple to the boundless realm and landed from the void. There is a splendid throne in the center of the palace, and the petite King Quan is shaking like this. The legs sit on the throne. On both sides stood a dedicated guard who was looking at everyone below with a serious look. Well, there are a lot of people here, you have to play well, and in the end I only have 5 universes left. I lost you. Joe, I will clear you all directly. 450. King Quan nibbled the sauce elbow with one hand, and then looked at all the gods and people. Hearing the words of King Quan, all gods and people felt a chill in their hearts. Alas, the king's heart is so elusive. If you serve him well, you may be very happy, but if you don't serve him well, it will be cleaned up in minutes. This is all mental failure. Ripe reason. Perhaps in the eyes of King Quan, who represents the Supreme Being, all matter in the universe is like a toy, and it can be changed at any time. Will be destroyed. This almost inhuman thing may be the supreme rule. Everyone has heard it. For the sake of their respective universes, please be sure to dedicate a wonderful battle. The Grand Priest glanced at King Quan, bowed respectfully, and then lectured to everyone. Yes. All the gods of the 12 universes responded quickly. Huh. The Great Priest made a startled sound, with a hint of surprise on his face, looked at the first Yiwang and others and said. You actually invited them all out. It seems that you value this game very much. The 1st, 5th, 8th, and 12th universes are not on the clear Aji list, but the 1st and 8th. Still finding such a strong man, it doesn't seem interesting. But the Grand Priest doesn't care about this, it's enough to let King Quan see the wonderful game. As for the others, he also will not interfere. I can't help it. I heard that a very strong expert has appeared. I can't help it. Anyway, I won't live for long. The figure of the combination of the virtual and the real in the first universe said. Okay. The Grand Priest coughed softly, grabbed one hand into the void, a golden scroll appeared in his hand. Open slowly. The High Priest began to announce. According to the will of Lord Quanwang, today is on the 313,550,603 of the King's calendar on the 15th. At 7 o'clock, the 12 universes hold a cosmic martial arts conference in the No Realm, the Power Conference. The time of the game is 200 tuks, and the pillar in the center of the ring is the timing unit of this conference. With the time of the competition went down continuously. When the pillars fell to the same height as the ring, the conference was in full swing. End of the formula. The way to win is simple, knock your opponent off the ring, and that's the victory. Otherwise, make the opponent lose the combat effectiveness, or admit defeat is not considered eliminated. And during the battle, you cannot use any flying skills. Of course, except for players with wings. You can't kill any player, you can't fight with any weapon, and you can't use any weapons except your own. Any medicines and tools for healing other than those that have healing powers. There is also a special reward in this power conference. The universe that wins the championship can get the Super Dragon Ball Award. Lee, you can make any wish to the Super Dragon. The rules are like this, you all understand. After finishing speaking, the Great Priest asked everyone. Understood, your High Priest. Everyone said in unison. Ding! Start to release new sign-in tasks, defeat the strongest in the 1st and 8th universes, and get the corresponding sign-in gift pack. Ding! After the power conference, I propose to the great priest and propose to marry the two angels of the sixth and the first universe. We'll get the corresponding sign in package. Shit. Propose marriage to the great priest. Nima, system, you are trying to kill me. Chumo looked at Vados and Margarita, and then at the great priest, and suddenly felt numb in his heart. But he also knew that the greater the difficulty, the richer the rewards of the system. This system is just a sign-in task for the host. As for whether the host is it or not, that's your business. The system's cold answer left Chumo speechless for a while. At this moment, Sun Wukong suddenly said, "Hey, Weiss, how long is the 200 talk time?" It also asked the doubts of everyone in the seventh court. It was the first time they heard about a time unit like Tucker. Oh, well, this is equivalent to 96 minutes on Earth. Weiss explained. Lord Kaiwangshan, let's go to the auditorium, the game is about to start. Weiss said to an old and a small world king god, and brought Bulma and others over by the way. Vegeta, for the sake of the seventh universe, you must do your best. Bulma said. Wukong, if you lose, go home and prepare to kneel on the remote control. Chi-Chi also said with a strong face, which made everyone collapse. What a strong woman. Beerus looked at Sun Wukong with contempt, and said, I didn't expect you to have this hobby. Speaking, without waiting for Sun Wukong to explain, he continued, listen, the next battle is very fierce, we must be united, you know. Beerus repeatedly emphasized that this is related to the safety of the universe, and if he loses, he will be eliminated by Lord Quanwang, including God of Destruction. Don't worry, Beerus-sama. Only Son Gohan, Piccolo, and Tianjin Fan obeyed Beerus's words, and the rest of them didn't care. Attitude. Hey, Son Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, did you three hear? Seeing that these three did not say a word, Beerus suddenly became unhappy. These three are all arrogant guys, and they don't care about teamwork at all. In particular, Monkey King and Vegeta are even more troublemakers. Okay, trust us, it's alright. Chumo waved his hand with a look of indifference. The great priest looked around, and then began to announce, in this case, this power conference officially begins. Wong, remember me. Chapter 179 Monkey King vs. Dangerous Three Brothers. Soon, the artillery fire in the ring was flying, but these gods of destruction were very smart, and they did not directly target the first 7 universes. If it is too obvious, the great priest and King Quan will find out, and maybe they will be eliminated directly. However, Chumo didn't make them too wishful, and sneered, what's the point of covering up, Lao Su? To hit 10. Chumo held both hands, hundreds of energy bombs are suspended in front of him, and then a move, the sea is boundless, directly. Some energy bombs blasted out. Boom, boom, boom. The violent explosion sounded continuously, and the players in the rest of the universe quickly avoided. However, there are still a lot of guys who didn't respond in time, unfortunately they were recruited. Boo, boo, boo. 1/10 of the players in the ring missing. Damn, this guy is too arrogant. Kitra looked at Chumo and was very angry. Just now, the 4th universe was eliminated by 2. Die before you get out of school. After making a move, Chumo sneered, and then his body flashed away. Be careful with your wife and number 17, take your time, and meet them first for your husband. Leaving this sentence, Chumo rushed out. Following Sun Wukong, Vegeta, and Frieza also rushed out. Only Beerus, Piccolo, and the others, who looked at each other in dismay, said that the team spirit was good. We are family. Damn it, just no heroism. Beerus was very helpless, so he had to walk with Son Gohan and a few people step by step. Beerus-sama, what should we do? Son Gohan asked. Let's find a place to stay and wait for the opponent to attack. Beerus looked at the situation around him and had no choice but to do so, otherwise, once surrounded by other universes, it would be very dangerous. Risk. It's the guy from the 7th universe, let's go together. Now that Chumo has gone to war, the rest of the allied universes are welcome. Soon they discovered the figures of Monkey King and Vegeta, who were the trio of Universe 9. Basil, you'll go first in a moment to attract that crabhead's attention. I'm putting poison in the back, we're going to eliminate him as soon as possible, then deal with the next one. The second child in Dangerous Trio, Lavanda, flashed a sinister stern in his eyes, and immediately released a battle plan. Boss, as soon as you see him fall, attack him immediately. The 3 Lavanda brothers are powerful. The third Basil is the fastest and suitable for pioneering. The second child, Lavanda, is a think tank and is good at using poison. Hands are what he likes most. As for the boss, Bergamo, he is the strongest and has the special ability to turn the enemy's attack into his own strength. The god of destruction in the 9th universe, Sidera, had already greeted the 3 of them, and had made alliances with other universes. Drop the 7th universe. Understood, brother. Got it, second child. Basil and Bergamo responded quietly. Flash shockwave. A powerful beam of red energy shot out from Basil's palm and charged towards the unsuspecting Sun Wukong. Fuck, someone sneak attack. Sun Wukong was taken aback by the sudden attack, but luckily he reacted fast enough, otherwise this one would be enough for him. The energy from that shot just now was at the level of Super Saiyan 3, and it is very dangerous to suddenly do it like this. Ah, ha. Sun Wukong reacted very quickly, immediately roared, and instantly entered the super blue form, and then aimed at the attacking again. A flash wave, sending out a blast of energy. After Chumo's repeated criticism, Sun Wukong finally got rid of the bad habit of not doing his best at the beginning. Boom. 2 powerful energies collided, and a powerful air wave set off countless dust, and thick smoke covered it. Everyone's sight. Basil, who was ready for a long time, immediately relied on his fast speed to appear above Sun Wukong. Hey! The powerful and mighty whip legs descended from the sky and slashed directly at the top of Sun Wukong's head. The dust that was raised around also suddenly dissipated with the violent blast of air, leaving a blank space. You guys are so abominable, you don't have the spirit of a martial artist at all, and you actually attacked. Sun Wukong was furious. Originally, he wanted to have a good fight with the masters of other universes, but he didn't expect to be caught. Attacked. Of course I'm not in a good mood. Sun Wukong raised his right hand directly, easily holding Basil's whip leg without even moving his body. Ask for flowers, oh. Damn, it's really amazing. Basil was shocked. He attacked by sneak attack, thinking that he would at least give Sun Wukong something to do when he was unprepared. Into a lot of trouble. Unexpectedly, the other party has nothing at all. Crush. Wolf penetrates. At this time, Bergamo, who was hiding on the side, launched a further sneak attack, a powerful impact. Bow aimed at Sun Wukong's chest. Damn, there are still people. Sun Wukong was furious, but then another voice sounded. Poison Qigong Wave. Lavanda's voice, attacked with Bergamo's wolf penetration. Sun Wukong had no choice but to give up continuing to attack Basil and instead deal with the 2 powerful energy waves. Basil took the opportunity to kick Sun Wukong's arm, and with the help of the anti-shock force, he jumped back to the 2 big brothers. Around. Then immediately sent out an energy wave to attack the past. Dangerous rays. 3 red, yellow, and blue energy shock waves blasted directly at Sun Wukong, a perfect strangulation action. Boom. A violent explosion sounded, and a burst of strong smoke filled the air. Success. Ravanda was overjoyed, looking at the center of the smoke for a burst of ecstasy. It seems that they are the first to eliminate the 7th universe players. You guys are damned. It was so dangerous just now that I almost got hit. Sun Wukong's voice suddenly sounded, which shocked the 3 brothers. After a few seconds, the smoke and dust dissipated, and Sun Wukong's whole body was unscathed, and his face was indifferent. He was really angry. If he hadn't reacted fast enough just now, these 3 energy waves would have been eliminated directly. I really want to thank this guy Chumo. With his training, I survived. Sun Wukong gave Chumo 32 likes in his heart. If he hadn't been beaten all the time, he wouldn't have reacted so quickly. Dangerous triangle. The 3 Bergamo brothers looked at each other and immediately launched a new attack. The 3 instantly stood in a triangle formation, surrounds Sun Wukong in the center. At the same time, the 3 sent out energy shock waves, attacking Sun Wukong from 3 directions. 0. Chapter 180 Universe 9th, clear. Then the 3 of Bergamo also rushed to Sun Wukong, further compressing the space for Sun Wukong's activities, preparing. Engage in close combat. If it is still the Monkey King in the anime, it is estimated that it will take a lot of effort. But the Sun Wukong stimulated by Chumo. It's much stronger than the anime. Come on, Husky. Sun Wukong also followed Chumo to learn badly. When he saw that Chumo had raised a few huskies, he simply called Bay. The 3 brothers of Bergamo are Hattich. The eyes suddenly shot a fierce light. In the face of 3 energy waves, a turtle Qigong wave was directly blasted. Zizizi. As the dazzling light rose, Sun Wukong directly offset the 3 energy waves, and then his body flashed directly. Nani. The 3 Bergamo brothers were shocked, and then saw that the figure of Sun Wukong had already rushed over to 583 inches. The 3 can only fight recklessly. Bang, bang, bang. Under the full attack of Sun Wukong, Lavanda's poisonous gas did not work, and the dangerous trio was killed by Sun Wukong. Sora flew out directly. Then the 3 of them appeared directly in the audience seat of Universe 9, and they were immediately stunned. Nima, just lost like that. Bergamo, Lavanda, and Basil from Universe 9 are eliminated. The voice of the great priest sounded. Standing on the top of the golden pillar in the center, Chumo saw everything clearly, and saw the battle of Sun Wukong. Suddenly a smile appeared. It seems that Sun Wukong has realized this shortcoming of his own, and it is really good to be able to improve. He didn't move at this time, because there were several figures standing in front of him, and the first one was the first universe and the 8th character. 2 mysterious people in the universe. There are several gods of destruction in the back. It is the god of destruction of the 1st universe, the destruction of the 5th universe. The god Arak, the god of destruction in the 10th universe, Ramsey, and the god of destruction in the 12th universe, Jin. If you don't use it here, he will leave it to me, and you will deal with the other players in Universe 7. The Phantom of the 1st universe said lightly. Minnows, I'm afraid you can't do it alone. I'm afraid this kid's strength is better than you. The Masked Man of Universe 8 said with a smile. Humph. Rhodamandus, do you think you can do it? If you did, we wouldn't have to stand here. The phantom named Minnows said coldly. Obviously he was an old acquaintance with Rhodamandus, but he didn't really deal with it. Chumo was stunned. Your sister, Minnows, Rhodamandus, do you have Iagos? The big 3 in hell. Intrude. Forget it, take care of him, just do it. However, he could feel the strength of these 2 guys. At least not much worse than Weiss. To 1, he has 100% confidence. But 1 on 2, he thinks it is very difficult. Forget it, let's not fight, this kid is not easy, let's go together. As for the 2 of you, let's solve it. Against everyone else. Rhodamandus said lightly, as if Chumo was already a trapped beast. But Chumo didn't move, and looked directly at Minnows and Rhodamandus. The atmosphere seemed to freeze. Delicious and delicious, seeing the 3 of Chumo facing each other and nodding to each other, they all jumped down and started. Find someone from the 7th universe. At this moment, the voice of the great priest suddenly sounded. All the players in the 9th universe are eliminated. With the exit of the dangerous 3 brothers, Sidera also unfortunately met Beerus, and then was eliminated. In less than 5 minutes at the beginning, Universe 9th was eliminated directly. It's too fast to catch the Kaiwangshan and the Angels of Universe 9 by surprise, this is too fast. However, except for Sidra and the Dangerous Brothers being eliminated by Beerus and Sun Wukong, Chumo's move just now can. The amount of bombs also eliminated 2 players in the 9th universe. The rest were also eliminated by the 6th universe and the 2nd universe, and became the first eliminated universe. King Quan looked extremely excited, his little fist clenched tightly. Clear. Then he opened his hands, 10 fingertips flashed a ray of light, and under the gaze of the other 11 kings. In the audience seat of Universe 9, except for the Angel Mojito, all figures just disappeared. Is this the end of the 9th universe? Bulma suddenly felt a chill, and a universe was destroyed like this. Yes, the 9th universe has been completely wiped out. Weiss said lightly, it doesn't seem to be a big deal. For hundreds of millions of years, he has long been accustomed to the destruction and birth of the universe. At this time, the situation in the ring began to be chaotic, completely beyond the imagination of the gods such as Ketra and Wei Maida. Since the beginning of Chumo, hundreds of powerful energy bombs were blasted directly at the beginning, the players in the ring are now all messed up. The location, coupled with the constant sneak attacks of Frieza and Vegeta, number 18, and number 17, players from other universes are constantly being scouted out. And it also caused these so-called alliance universes to start infighting, and this situation made Ketla and Yume, God of Destruction, had to wait for it to be unexpected. These the players in the universe are not as tacit as these gods of destruction. They are not familiar with each other. Fang eliminated his comrades from the universe. Suddenly furious, he immediately rushed to take revenge. As the situation is disrupted, even the God of Destruction cannot stop the unrest under his command. Moreover, in front of the Great Priest and King Quan, they could never say that they and others had already formed an alliance and had to deal with the 7th universe. So the situation is completely messed up now. The realm god Shin was very happy to see it. He was worried that these gods of destruction would join forces to deal with the 7th universe. Then they are in danger. Chumo is too cunning. At the beginning, it's not just about eliminating players from other universes. It also created chaos, allowing Vegeta and number 18 to take advantage of the smoke to attack other universes. That makes that the universe is in chaos, otherwise, now Wukong and the others are in danger. The old god of the realm saw it very clearly, and he pointed out the intention of Chumo to start the game. Although there were some hindsights, I still saw what Chumo meant. At this time, the deliciousness of the arena was so delicious that God finally saw Chumo's purpose, but it was too late. The alliance has been broken. Even they themselves can't protect themselves. Damn, Ligel, how dare you attack me? Wei Mei was so angry when she saw the figure of a fox appearing in front of her. It was you in the 11th universe who troubled us first, and in our 8th universe, there are only 4 left, including me. Ligel pointed to several players from Universe 11 in Topo and said, remember me.